Hello and welcome to the Broadbeach Bowls Club. It's Thursday, the 22nd of June 2023. It's the start of the Australian Open finals, and today we kick off with a multi-disability pairs final between Lucas Protopapas and Ken Hanson, playing Aaron Kelly and Brad Gilbert. I'm Kyle Langley. Joining me in commentary is Chris Wallace and Ben Crickstolitis. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good to be with you, Kyle. Ben.
Yeah, good morning. Glad to be here and well said. Saw you practicing my name before the broadcast. Thanks very much for that, Kyle.
Look, it's a Benny K to me. It's always been Benny K. Well, that's the way it's been. Look, gentlemen, what a great matchup we've got here this morning. Some ultra-competitive and sensationally paired matches. These guys are skillful players, aren't they?
They are never easy to make it the way through the finals, so there'll be some cracking bowls going down, not just in this game, but the games following. Brilliant day of finals action here at Broadbeach today.
And Ben, isn't it? It's just the inclusiveness of our sport, having our multi-disability pairs and having it on the same rink as our visually impaired players. But just the fact that these people are out there playing the game and enjoying what they love.
Look, yeah, you know yourself, Kyle, as an RBM, one of the more rewarding things is getting everyone participating, not just able-bodied. And I've just finished up before I came up here with some the disability sports and the all-ability sports with the high school kids, and here I am now at the Australian Open watching the all-abilities people play at the highest level, and I could not be happier.
Well, Chris, this is one of our big roles as an RBM is getting out doing our multi-sport days at the schools, and I did one at Taree last year. It was brilliant, but it is an important part of our role as RBMs, isn't it?
They are, yeah, fantastic days, and working with the disability sports partners from around the country. I said regional bowls managers do a great job along with those partners to get more people playing the game than ever before, and as you know, Kyle, bowls is one of those games that can be played by all ages and all abilities, and great to see that exhibition here today in these semi-finals and finals here at Broadbeach.
And Ben, you've been out and, as you said, done some of those multi-disability days. They're just fantastic and rewarding, aren't they?
That's my favourite part of the job, without a shadow of a doubt. That and the brain injury people I've worked with at Warilla and all of that, and just watching the smiles on the faces at the end of the day as we find sports that they can compete at the same level as everyone else. The reward is just, you can't help but put a smile on my face. It's my favourite part of the job.
Now, elephant in the room, Lucas. Let's talk Lucas. He's fan favourite of ours. Lucas is one of our Bowls Australia ambassadors. We love him to bits. I've got a biscuit here for him at the end of the game, but we'll be a little soft spot for Lucas during the day, I'm sure.
Yeah, one of the happiest people you'll ever see on the green, that's for sure. Captain Smiley, one of his many nicknames, but absolute champion. But yeah, four brilliant players and four very happy bowlers, I think, will be out there playing the final today, that's for sure.
Now, I'm going to address another small elephant in the room, which was yesterday, and I'm going to do it as politely as I can. I just wanted to remind everyone on Facebook that we do appreciate your comments that come through. We do take your constructive feedback, but one thing I'd like you to remember is we do this, we are employed by Bowls Australia, but we are volunteers to this role, and we love doing it. Some of the comments that have come through in the last couple of days have been a little bit unsavoury. But what we'd like to point out is that you just need to be patient with us. We're not professional commentators. We do this because we love the game. We love bringing the game to you with the people out there in the Facebook land. So be patient with us. We're doing the best we can, and hopefully whatever result comes through at the end of the other side of your phone or computer or television, whatever you're watching on, is a good result, and it does bring the game into your lounge room or workplace.
Yes, and we'll certainly try to keep you across the action happening around the other greens here at Broadbeach today. So a couple of brilliant finals being played on the green that we'll broadcast, and then of course we've got some men's singles semi-finals action happening on a couple of greens, as well as women's fours semi-finals this morning.
But make no mistake, overwhelmingly positive the responses, and we do love hearing where you're from in the chat there. And please ask us a question if you want. It's that's what we're here for. We know the game, and we're happy to answer any questions you have.
Some of us know the game. I get a bit lost some days. Oh, look, for myself, I'm only a 5-year-in player, and it's just that drive you have with the game, and you get it in your blood, and you just want to keep going. And it's a sport that anyone can play. And if you haven't had a go at bowls, get down to your local club, go and see your local committee there, and jump on board and have a roll up. Have a game of barefoot bowls, do what you can, and it will be a fantastic experience, guaranteed.
I can really hear us in RBM participation mode here, Kyle. But without a shadow of a doubt, get down to your clubs and have a go there. Not just for the sport, but for the community you find yourself in. And I think from my week here, commentating on the games and spending a lot of time with the people around. Thousands of people, all very positive, smiling, having a great time.
Yeah, great to see some good positive comments coming through already. So Louise and many others appreciating the coverage from this week as it looks like the players are shaking hands and we're about to get rolling. Probably might wait for the hooter before we get started. There is a time limit to this game of 3 hours, and 15 ends in this format.
So we are running. I've been away for a couple of days, had to head on home, but we've got John Roberts in his infamous hooter still. He will blow that horn sometime during the morning to get us going.
And he's absolutely terrifying with it. He does it at the correct times. We never know quite where he is. He might be right behind us right now, so look out. Scary.
So Joe Franzi will be our marker today. Lucas and Ken, both from Victoria. Ken's from Colac City. Now, you're a Victorian, Wally. What have you got for us on these two?
Well, Colac, great bowling town, Colac. So produced some champion sports people, including Ken Hanson, who's been a Commonwealth Games gold medalist in bowls. But yeah, Colac, beautiful place. Ken's also spent some time up here on the Gold Coast at Tweed. And then Lucas Protopapas, of course, we touched on before, but fantastic bowler. Hails out of Heathmont. Great bloke, and did very well to send both gents to get through to the final, along with Aaron and Brad, who are New South Welshmen. So I'll throw back to you, Kyle, for that one.
Well, one's from West Tamworth, Aaron's from West Tamworth, Brad Gilbert from Casino RSM Club. Now, we should have our male model from Maclean, Jason Pinnock, online because he is the RBM for both of those clubs. So we'll get some more feedback from there. Now, I've just been advised by our production guru, Lockie Williams, that we may not have a hooter, so we may just wait for this last end of roll-up, and we'll see what the lads do out there.
And Jason Pinnock is online, and I'm sure we'll get a comment about that soon. But the Casino RSM, a little bit of trivia I was provided out there by Brad Gilbert, was the RSM stands for Return Services Memorial. They're an independent return services club, and there's only two of them in the country, one at Casino and the other one in Inverell.
Yeah, I actually had that conversation with someone recently, what RSM stood for, and that was the Interzone, and it's Return Servicemen's Memorial, different to the RSL, of course. So, yeah, good on them for being there and providing support to our return servicemen. It's just a brilliant thing.
Yeah, the return service clubs are fantastic. Look after a few of them. There are some RSL bowling clubs and also an RSL bowling association around New South Wales. I'm a member of Zone 20 down there in Nowra Bomaderry, and they put on some great days.
Yeah, look, and while we're talking return servicemen, Ben, how good is Invictus and the work they're doing with bowls?
I love Invictus. It's the best partnership I've been involved with in the last couple of months. We've built a partnership down on the South Coast, and I know that you've had some days as well, Kyle. The Shoalhaven Heads Bowling Club is a big advocate of them. Shoalhaven Heads, of course, where Karen Murphy and the famous Murphy family are from, and they do annually. They do a day for them, and Bowls Great for Brains, another partner of Bowls Australia. And they're return servicemen. Again, we talk about community. Return servicemen need that community for their mental health, and the Invictus just does that. The power of sport, indeed.
Do you have the same? I think is Jai your contact?
No, I've got Abby okay. Quinn.
Well, if there's any return servicemen out there, anyone involved in any of the services, and you want to get involved with bowls and Invictus, of course, contact your local Invictus branch. I think you can. It's all online. Get out and have a game of bowls, guys. It's brilliant. Guys and girls, I should say. The one we had at East Maitland recently, I think we had about 40-odd people there, but it was families. It was wives, husbands, wives, kids, grandparents. They all wanted to come along and show their support. And basically, and I say this out aloud, bowls can be the best therapy for anything going on in your world. It's just a place you can get away.
Absolutely correct. I'm one of those return servicemen myself, and I can tell you, without the bowls community, I'd be a very different person.
And to all those return servicemen out there, we do thank you for your service, and we appreciate what you've done for our country. Now, Lucas has looked like Lucas and Ken have won the match, Chris.
They
I'm
have,
just seeing
yeah,
what
just
happened.
waiting for the starting signal. So Lucas and Ken, now that we're at the final stage, of course, we can easily tell the players apart in their bowls and stickers because they're wearing different colours and sporting different stickers on their bowls. So Lucas and Ken stay playing in the blue colours, so they'll wearing the blue and having the blue stickers on their bowls, whereas Aaron and Brad, of course, are in the yellow. So it makes it a bit easier to follow the action on the stream and even for us when we're trying to tell the bowls apart, because there are a few different colours out there.
Yeah, they are indeed. And not forgetting with Joe Franzi being a marker and one of our proud volunteers, we'd like to thank Apia, who is proud to support the events, volunteers and officials. Apia is helping you live the good life and play bowls.
We do have a marker on the rink today. It is Joe, and he's from Broadie, but he's tells me he's ex-Army as well, just to tie in that RSL thing. And I can tell you about their bowls as well. Aaron's got Taylor SRVs, Brad Gilbert on brightly coloured Aero Optimus. Lucas tells me he's using Taylor GTRs and wants me to point out that he has the Right at Home logos on them.
Yeah. Also part of Team Taylor, sponsored player Lucas.
And Ken has Red Line SRs that he tells me he's played with for a lot of years, and they keep working, so he just keeps using them.
Now, is there any truth in the rumour that Arnott's are looking at Lucas for a sponsorship for the biscuits?
I think just weighing up whether it's value for money for them or not, because he could bankrupt them.
I think Sesame Street are looking at giving him a range of Cookie Monster hats.
For those who haven't or don't know, Chris, fill us in. Come on, give us a little background of Lucas.
Well, Lucas does do 1 day a week work in the Bowls Australia office, so he's very good at helping to process our coaching and officials accreditations. Lucas and his mum, Carol, they also look after the rankings event for Bowls Australia, so for every ranked event that there is around the country that leads to ranking points, Lucas and Carol administer those events, so they do a great job in both of those roles. But Lucas is known for having a fair crack at the old biscuit tin in the Bowls Australia office, so we do know that we have to make sure it's filled to the brim before Lucas rolls in, and generally not many left by the end of the day.
Well, I did train about a year ago in Melbourne for a couple of days, and a beautiful Hayley down there, which we send our thoughts to at the moment, going through a bit of a tough time. She said to me, go and grab a cup of tea and a biscuit from the little kitchenette there, and I said, there's no biscuits left, and all she said was, Lucas. Lucas. I think we're about to go. John's given away. There's no hooter. We don't want to put anyone off. And Lucas about to throw the jack on the first end, gentlemen.
Yep. And again, brewing conditions here today. A little bit of cloud cover and some shade from neighbouring buildings, but otherwise an outstanding day for bowls. Greens in great condition, of course, here again on Broadbeach. We're on green number 2 today for today's action, but there is 4 greens of bowls action here today. So whether it be this game you're interested in or any of the others, if you're in the area, come on down to Broadbeach and watch some great bowls action.
Yeah, and as I look around the green, again, another fantastic day this week has just been phenomenal here. Gold Coast really putting it on. There are people everywhere once again. Not necessarily surrounding this green yet, but over on the other green we've had some renovations and some screens put up. There's people all around the place. Broadbeach is a fantastic club, so if you're out and about, come down and have a look.
Now, I'll give a shout-out to a Zone 2 bowler this morning who was here just before 7:30 with a coffee, looking around to try and get a seat. Noel Fishburn from Dora Creek Workers Club was here bright and early, and I know a few of the people at Dora Creek will be watching in this morning from their lounge rooms, or probably even from the back shed with the greenkeeper.
Yeah, and so we're playing 3/4 length this first end. Lucas just a little shy with his first. He had the line all right.
Well, great start there from Aaron Kelly.
Yeah.
That's Lucas got up his sleeve on the backhand, it looks like.
Really nice form there with the support there. He's the walking stick. They're a fantastic thing. I see a fair few bowlers using those, and just a good steadier, good stance there from Lucas, and really focused, posing at the bottom as bowlers should do.
Yeah, and a decent correction with his second too, giving it a chance. So Lucas and Ken winning through their earlier rounds quite well. So their first round won 15-10 and good performance in the semi-final to win 16-6 to make their way through the final.
Now, Chris, time limit on this game and ends. What are we looking at today?
So we're looking at 15 ends and up to 3 hours. So it's fairly generous with the time. I don't think the time limit will come into play, especially being the 3-bowl pairs format. But 15 ends at the very least. And if it is tied at the end of 15 ends, then we will play an extra end.
And Lucas just dropping his last bowl there in behind Jack, making it there. He's had to match up Aaron by the looks of things. And welcome Neil Dalrymple to the broadcast, CEO of World Bowls.
Now, where's Neil watching from? Zimbabwe, England, Scotland?
No, I saw a photo of him. He's changed his cover photo on Facebook to where the Test match was played. I think was it Edgbaston.
I understand that was from a couple of years ago, but we'll see. Look,
well, that's cheeky. I like that.
Definitely, World Bowls is just going from strength to strength, and good luck to Neil and the team there that are running it and putting it together and making it happen.
So some good openers from the lads here. So Aaron and Brad on their way through to the final. They had a good win in their first round match, winning 23-10. Just snuck through the semi-final yesterday by one shot. Came down to the last end, so 13-12, a great game against Serena Bonnell and Brett Sellers. So they narrowly missed out on being in the final themselves, Serena and Brett. But Ken knowing these greens very well, having won Commonwealth Gold here.
He's got a nice consistent form as well. I've seen him bowl a couple of times, and that shot will be a bit heavy, but he'll adjust. He's been here before and got the skills to do it.
Look, most bowlers, and I'm saying probably 99%, will struggle for the first couple of ends with that shadow running through the green, because it's that eye perception, the perception of the eye looking at it and going, am I up, am I back, how much weight do I need to use? It is a very difficult situation.
Yeah, especially when the jack ducks in and out of the shade sometimes. Can be a little bit harder to judge that length.
I have no idea how an opening batsman can watch a bowl coming down at 100 miles an hour on a cricket pitch when there's a shadow across it. They're just unbelievable.
It's a good shot there by Brad again. He's gone back. Both skips just pushing back and giving their bowl a good chance to start with. There's a bit of room around Jack, but I'm really impressed with it. Just watched Brad put his bowl down there from his chair, and I've seen the young guys do that in the multi-disability days, and the form they have to use as they lean out. He's leaning out to the right, close to the ground, and a really beautiful swing on the arm, really nicely mechanical in his shoulder.
Does have a lovely delivery, doesn't he? Gets away nice and smooth. Ken not far away with his second there. Had a chance to sort of slide under the front bowl, and he pulled up just a little short, but Brad gone a bit wider with this one. Ken with his last bowl of this first end. Look, getting a call from Lucas to confirm, yep, they are down, but Ken's away on the mat. Probably looking to promote his last bowl or sneak around if he can. Might be the former. Gets a roll out of his own bowl.
Contact
he
here.
Has. Oh, don't know. Got to roll out of the other one as well.
Haven't had an indication there from Joe about who's holding.
Looks like Aaron's was favouring their bowl. Bit of a wave of one finger.
I saw one pointer go up there.
So means Brad's got probably a fairly safe shot on here. Stays a little wide. There's no chance of promoting Ken's. That was excellent weight for the shot. Yep, looks like 1 to Aaron and Brad to kick things off. So 1-0 after the first end.
Look, good start from all four players. I wanted to point out for those watching Brad play from his chair, if there's any younger people or any age out there that is interested in lawn bowls and they are in a situation where they are in a chair, contact, especially New South Wales, I don't know about other states, but Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. Brilliant organisation. They will get you into any sport that they can cater for, and it's a wonderful way to get yourself into the community and actually actively doing something. But Wheelchair Sports New South Wales is one. We can look up the other ones throughout the day, but there's one in each state that will get you and come and play lawn bowls. It's such a great sport.
Yeah, and you can compete at the same level as everyone else. That's I think the most important thing. Huskerson's got a couple of chairs at the club, and there are a few clubs around my areas have their own chairs and want everyone to get on the green, and the accessibility that we have in this sport is fantastic. And Wheelchair Sports Australia, what a great organisation.
Yes, that's right. Most of our clubs are wheelchair friendly these days, both the facilities inside the clubhouse and on the greens as well. So making it very easy for people of all abilities to get a game on. And again, regardless of what age you are, so a player like Lucas started playing when he was a young fella, as most of our Australian Jackaroos are these days. So start young, start old, start at any age. It's just a great time to play. And as was touched on, all these events are now integrated. So whether you be para or vision impaired, you can play alongside all the big names in bowls as well.
And just looking across the panel here, Lucas is still young. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Relatively, yeah, exactly.
Good effort here, good start. And the tactics have come out already. Aaron and Brad have gone from a sort of a shortish end that Lucas threw up to a long end. So it's the mind games have begun already.
Probably, yeah. And maybe not a bad tactic. They've seen that Lucas dropped a couple short in his first end. It's good vision to probably see what might find out our opponent a little bit and see if we can get a little bit of a jump and head start. Aaron definitely reaching with his first two, giving it a good chance on this long end. Lucas just looking for about a metre on his last. Ken giving him that indication.
Yeah, sticking to the forehand here, Lucas. Wants to be up but not cross the head.
Yeah, looks like he has given it that extra weight.
His opponent holding one. By the looks of things at the moment, he's back on the line. Lucas just crossing the head a little bit. It will be different end to end until those shadows creep away. Let's see what Aaron's got here. Just a little strong by the looks.
Yeah, gone the longer end and thrown three just past, but still looks like he's holding at the moment.
It's not a bad thing. I often find being able to adjust back from going too long is easier than adjusting forward from being short. Easier to take weight off from my point of view. I don't know if you excellent bowlers next to me agree.
Not an excellent bowler, but I would agree with you, Ben. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's an agreement there, but there's definitely not an excellence. Lucas, here we go.
That's corrected very well.
Great bowl, young man. That's beautiful.
Got his line. He's a foot and a half in front of Jack. Holding shot there. And a long look from Brad as he makes his way back to the other end as the teams cross. Quick chat, some wry smiles.
Just a reminder, if you do want to, you are on the Gold Coast today and you want to get down and check out some of this bowls action today, right throughout the day, then best to get here early as places around the greens are filling up, and in particular in the grandstand for the 11 o'clock game and 11:30 game and 2 p.m. games this afternoon. Both the women's singles and the men's pairs first and women's singles in the afternoon. Seats in the grandstand will fill up quickly for both of those matches.
It is the pointy end of the tournament, the festival, today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last day, and then we all head back to our real jobs. But it's an amazing festival. I've only been. This is my second year. I came up last year and played, and I played again this year and done a bit of work. But it's just a fantastic gathering. It's like it's a pilgrimage. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Yeah, it's been described all week as the Gold Coast being the mecca of our sport, and this is the greatest competition we have coming up again. We've got the World Championships here soon, and this is where everyone wants to be.
Yeah, certainly it's the biggest festival of bowls in the world, and fantastic to see so many people, not just around the country, but around the world here, enjoying the action, enjoying the play, talking to plenty of people from overseas that are already making their plans for next year's Australian Open, which begins on June 8th in 2024. For those that are looking ahead to plan the calendars, but yeah, June 8th, everything will kick off again and probably be here before we know it, the way the year's time, this year's flown.
I'm sure Andrew Howie thinks that as well. That'll come up very quickly. It's a huge event, and he's one of the best in the world at putting these kind of events on. He does very well.
Well, we must shout out to people within, and let's a little bit of self-gratitude here, but Andrew Howie, Paul Holsky, people like Lockie Williams, Val Thebo, Aidan Davis. It's just tireless the work they do to get an event like this happening, and we appreciate it as employees, but I'm sure that bowlers all around the country appreciate it as well, because the event is just a wonderful experience.
Yeah, Brad a little bit unlucky there to roll in Lucas's bowl, so it was on target.
Yeah, he was looking at a more positive shot after his first one dropped short, and looking to move Lucas through, but end up knocking him onto the jack, which is not what he wanted.
Yeah. Ken almost there for a second, just pulling up shies of Brad's bowl, but yeah, Brad probably not having to change a lot from his last bowl, really. Has cleared the front bowl out of the way, but will be looking to make some sort of connection again. Might be playing a bit more weight here.
Yeah, it looks like if he can make the right connection on Lucas's bowl, he may be able to shoot it back to Aaron's first couple.
Yeah, this is a very positive shot. Yeah, lined it up very nicely.
Good reaching weight, but just a bit under that time. And with Ken having last bowl, it looks like so they will score this end. It's a pretty safe shot here he can play.
Just wants to stay away from Lucas. That's always the worry.
And he's not far away from drawing second. He has indeed.
Oh, it's a cracker.
That's a great shot.
Well played, Ken Hanson.
So we'll just get the confirmation. It is 2 to Lucas and Ken. So Lucas Protopapas and Ken Hanson on 2 shots to Aaron Kelly's and Brad Gilbert's 1 after 2 ends.
Yeah, Joe Franzi popping up the 2 as he walks away. And again, we thank Apia, who's proud to support the event volunteers and officials, and Apia helping you live the good life and play bowls.
Just trying to see the score there on the vision impaired bowls on the next rink, but I can't quite see who's on which side of the board there. I'll update you when I can.
Yep, so Lucas going back to a bit of a shorter length. Seems like this will be the preferred length for this opening part of the game, going a bit shorter than 3/4 length.
It is interesting. Went back to that just short of 3/4, but they played so well on the longer end, so wouldn't be in any way concerned if that was Lucas and Ken.
Yeah, and that's a great opener from Lucas, so maybe this is the length that was working for them yesterday. Having a couple of good wins yesterday, winning 15-10 and 16-6, so...
Oh, I just told him to put some crumbs around the jack. That was the whole idea. He'll get to it.
I was going to say, that cookie that's in front of you, wave that at him, it might put him off his game.
I think you heard that, Kyle. A bit of a smile back to you.
Yeah, good man. He's a good man.
But
great response here from Aaron. Yep.
I was just about to sing Lucas's praises, and Aaron's put one down in that response. 1 for 1 at the back. Fantastic bowling.
I get a bit jealous of Lucas. I follow him on Facebook, and he's always out playing bowls. Oh. He upsets me.
And with good people too. Seems to attract the best players around him.
Would we call him is he a networker or an influencer now? Which would you say?
Oh, you could say he's a social media influencer.
Say yes.
He's pretty active.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a networker too.
Yes to both of those.
Certainly can play, Lucas, too. He's getting a bit of practice in, and good to see him at different events around the country.
And here comes Aaron's bowl. Just going to... Oh, this is a fantastic shot. Or maybe not, just dropped short.
Yeah, Brad looking to wave it in there, but wasn't far away.
Yeah, looked good from where I was, but pulled up. Maybe the green's not running... We're not having as much finish as they do later on in the day. In the bright sun, the shine hasn't really started yet.
Yeah, Ken asking Lucas here to flip over, and Draw. There's an open draw there on the backhand. Lucas giving this a good stare. Making every indication he does like it. It's not far away.
He
What a
should
bowl,
like it.
Lucas
He should like
Protopapas.
it.
Great bowl. Of course, one of Lucas's biggest fans, Carol, here on the sidelines today. Lucas's mum. So big, good bowler in her own right. So winning many, great AO and winning many regional events and going along to state finals in recent years. So good bowls runs in the family, that's for sure.
Just as we cross over, gents, look, I often get feedback around the clubs when they talk about traditional pairs play compared to the three-bowl pairs. I just love the three-bowl pairs. It quickens the game up. That third bowl for me is the one that is always the best of the three too. So I get 2 practice shots at it. If I'm playing 2x2 by 2x2, I don't get the third bowl to get in there. So thoughts on it? It's a good concept, isn't it?
It is, yeah, great format. No, look, it's in particular, you see, look, I know when it comes to pathway events, national events or state events, sometimes you're locked into a particular format, but it's certainly seeing plenty of clubs these days changing their other club championships, in particular mixed pairs is a good example. Many clubs play a 3-bowl pairs, mixed pairs championship these days. But look, when it comes to social play, it's great to see clubs vary the formats, and I've seen clubs play 2-bowl pairs, which is another fun, quick game too, so you can get more ends in, more results. So, yeah, you don't have to always stick to the 2 and walk pairs or even 3-bowl pairs. Yeah, be brave and mix it up. A bit of variety.
I love the 3-bowl pairs format, and for one single reason, not that, I don't think it changes the pairs game all that much, but I actually think it allows more opportunity for heavy shots. And for me, that's my bread and butter, so I get two draws and a crack, and that makes me happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, of course, there's the old 2-4-2 format too, which is great. So
swap overs,
we swap over so that both players will get a chance to play both, lead and third and second and skip effectively. So that's a good format. So for those not be familiar with 2-4-2, it's where the lead will play 2. The other partner will come down and play the middle 4 bowls, and then the lead comes back and plays the remaining 2 as skip, and then you'll swap around the next end.
Yeah, we're an evolving game. That you look at the BPL format coming into a lot of things, but you just know that in the future there's going to be changes with different concepts and changes with different formats, and it's all to future-proof the game to make it more exciting and more pleasurable for people to get out there and play.
Ken, that's a brilliant bowl. So
he's tucking that away now. It's going to make it very difficult for Brad to get at that. Even with weight, it's going to make it difficult to move.
I can't wait to see a jack attack format played at the AO. That's I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Get some power plays.
We'll be here for 4 weeks. I like it.
Yes, as you said, Kyle, Brad looking to play more weight here. Needs to disturb something. Really can't outdraw it, and it's close here.
He's
got the
killed
result, and he's got the jack. He's killed it. So
Jack has shot out, and he's hit the corner. He's hit it beautifully. That's a fantastic, cracking shot by Brad.
Aaron having to walk a long way to get that jack, so it's spun across 3 rings into the ditch. And holding 1 at the moment, but Ken with another bowl to come. And fair to say Ken has a bit of room here before Brad will get a chance to play his last bowl.
As the great man Andrew Gomez walks past us here. It's good to see him. I can't remember what his job title is, but he looks after all our business development manager. He does all our partnerships.
Guru.
Been doing a brilliant job, so taking good care of all of our partners and our national merchandising program. So we're going to miss Andrew when he finishes up on Tuesday. So
hell of a golfer too.
Yeah, it's a mean ball.
A bit of fun last night, enjoying the Gold Coast, just with some. Oh, he's going a bit wide there.
Yeah, so played the tough shot there, Brad, of springing the jack out and getting it respotted. But Ken with a brilliant reply, picking up just a one, but yeah, certainly much better than dropping 2 or 3, which is what Aaron and Brad were looking at for a moment there.
Looking at 3 down at one stage there with him before he played that weight, so he's done extremely well to go 1 down.
Yeah, so that takes the score to 3-1 in favour of Lucas and Ken after 3 ends. But yeah, Top Golf was a bit of fun last night, wasn't it, Ben?
Top Golf, that's right.
Plenty of great attractions here on the Gold Coast, and that's certainly one of them.
Certainly something about the Gold Coast that just takes a drive. Well, that one there takes a driving range to a new level. That was something else. You get up here, I recommend getting to Top Golf.
Yeah, certainly a driving range for the twist, that's for sure. So you don't have to know much about golf, and you can be a beginner or someone who's more experienced, but it's all about hitting some targets. Some are not far away, and yeah, with the sensors in the golf balls and lots of flashing lights and creative ways to score.
And you were pretty accurate yourself, Mr. Wallace. Smacking them into the targets pretty well.
Yeah, I know, it's a good bit of fun, and wish I could say the same for watching the Origin last night. So it wasn't as much fun.
Oh yeah, we do have 3 light blue supporters here, don't we?
Yeah. All credit to the Maroons and Queensland supporters. It's heard plenty of Queenslander cries last night, including from our own Michael Sorensen, who's around the greens today. So
a bit of discussion there about jack length. It looks pretty well into me.
Yeah, they're just had a bit of a look at this, haven't they? But looks like they're going to play this length.
Well, Lucas and Ken have got this tactic. They want short ends here, which is what their wheelhouse will be. Now, just an update from around the greens, gentlemen. Men's singles on this morning as well. Matty Miles 9 leads Jacob Nelson 8. That's the first of our semi-finals. And Glenn Pitts 10 leading Aaron Sheriff 7. So at the moment, Glenn Pitts leading Aaron Sheriff and Matt Miles leading Jacob Nelson. Yeah,
so both very close at this stage, aren't they? And Aaron Sheriff and Matt Miles and Jacob, they all had great tournaments all around. So, yeah, Glenn Pitts in front of Aaron Sheriff at the moment, who's been in some stellar form, already into the pairs final, Aaron Sheriff. Matt Miles narrowly missing out on the men's pairs final, so having really good tournaments, both those gentlemen. But
Jacob yesterday playing in one of the greatest games of bowls I've ever encountered against Disco.
Especially to have him down
17-0 at one point and getting back within 4 shots before Jacob finally found his final shot creeping towards that 21. That was a remarkable game. Replay available on our Facebook page if even just to watch the first 5 and the last 5 ends.
Well, Aaron's still alive for the clean sweep, the Grand Slam we can call it. So he's still in the singles, pairs and fours. So that would be one of the most amazing results if he could do that. But at the moment, he's in a battle there with Glenn Pitts.
Of course, looking to go back-to-back in the singles as well, so which would be a rare feat. Kelsey Cottrell also in that position of being able to defend her singles title. Opening bowls here, so both gents have just dropped a little short with their first, but so I should say that was Lucas the second, dropped short, just missed the first bowl.
That's it. There's one long and 2 short ones on the green there. Just speaking of inclusivity of bowls, a story here from Steve in Ipswich, which is west of Brisbane here, famous town actually. Played with John McLeod, who's an ex-Canberra Raiders player in the 80s. I don't know anything about rugby league, but I'm sure someone here will be able to tell me. His foot was crushed in a car accident in 92 and had a leg amputated. He then had the other one amputated. Plays on the went on to represent Australia's disability team in the Far East and Southern Games in China in 92 and 2004, and still playing the game at a pretty high level. And I'm just going to call it out, Steve Crickstolitis, my uncle, got to play with him in Ipswich and showed me a lot of photos of that day. And and this is the job of our sport, everyone on the greens at all times.
Yeah, that's a great story. And as Lucas plays a cracking bowl to draw the shot there. Canberra Raiders, I can tell you as a NRL supporter, they were a great team in the 80s. So Mal Meninga and Ricky Stewart, current coach, and plenty of good players. represented the Raiders at that time. So
I'm glad you've got some knowledge. And I know they wear green shirts.
yeah. Won a couple of grand finals, I think, through the 90s. But yeah, the foundation was there in the 80s after the dominance of Parramatta and Canterbury for a few years there.
So I'll tell you what, in this game at the moment, I think the most deadly player so far has been Ken. He is a little short there, but I haven't seen a wild bowl go down from him yet. He's either adjusted more quickly than everyone else, or he knows his green well and knows how knows the way it runs.
Yeah, so Brad looking for a way probably around these front two. There is a chance to draw there,
Yeah.
which he may have just done. That's a great bowl to draw shots. So. Albeit, Lucas going up for a bit of a look. Yeah, he's sort of a tentative finger in the air, but it is close to shot at the moment. Ken sticking with the same hand and has drawn an absolute cracker here, it looks like. That's a great shot.
Deadly.
Certainly takes any measure out of the equation.
Deadly accurate by Ken.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seems like if you're giving Ken any space at the moment, he will get there. Yeah, Brad looking for some advice from Aaron. He's pretty confident that it is only one down, so that last shot. So probably looking to move Jack, come through the gap. Or shot pole if he's a bit tighter.
Yeah, he's in the space.
Close.
Oh,
and
my
he
goodness.
may have just drawn this.
What a fantastic shot.
That is a great shot.
Big celebration there by his partner Aaron. Lifts that one finger up with his left hand adamantly. That is a great, cracking shot by Brad Gilbert.
Yeah, Lucas calling Ken to come up on the same hand and probably push the bowl through. If he gets a bit of jack, they do have one there waiting behind. It's probably no worse than one down if he does get a connection.
I think that was more of barking orders there from Lucas. He was very animated with his comments.
He was. Yeah.
He knows what he wants here.
It's the right call. A little bit wide there on that occasion, Ken. So he's given a chance for Brad to potentially draw another here, albeit not a lot of room, but he can play something similar.
Yeah, follow his own down there. He'll there's the risk of obviously of knocking Jack back, but there's a fair chance he'll play fairly safe.
How inspiring are these players? I tell you, we're sitting here watching the multi-disability, the vision impaired next rink. It's just amazing the inspiration these players give to us.
I'm actually getting distracted by the vision impaired bowlers. I can't believe how close they're getting over there with their guides and the way they play. It's absolutely brilliant. The just feeling for the edge of the mat. The lady there about to have her shot. I'll put the jack down.
It looks like one to Kelly and Gilbert there. And just everyone out there, the Australian Open is supported by Major Events Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland, and we thank them for their support.
Yeah, so 3-2 after 4 ends in favour of Lucas and Ken. It's really starting to warm up here now this morning. So no more shade across the green as the sun appears from behind the buildings.
Really watching for that shine to appear, that really characteristic after 2 weeks of heavy use.
Yep.
Around the edges where the players often stand in the most frequently used lengths is the pitch will get stomped down and packed down. The grass will get a bit shiny as the day goes on and as it gets faster and faster.
Probably no surprise here that Aaron and Brad have chosen to use more of the green, going longer again. Seems like it will be the story of this game. Ken and Lucas will look to play shorter ends and Aaron and Brad look to go longer. Good starter from Aaron to be behind the jack. Perfect line.
Just shows good tactical nous in the end. If you know what your opponent prefers, you can get the mat, take control of the game and take that off them.
Yeah, it's often an undervalued part of the game, having the lead to be able to control the length with a good jack roll.
I know earlier in the week, Chris, you and I were discussing that how important that is, that it is essentially the first bowl. Leads often get 3 bowls, and the first one's the jack.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, you'll see your better leads go out and practice jack rolls often, you know, before many games, especially you will change from green to green and surface to surface, and it's often important to get a good feel for the jack, and because a metre or two can make a big difference. As Lucas just sails through a little bit with his first on this end.
Yeah, he's hung up on the ditch there.
Yeah, he's on the precipice over there, but the smile on his face, I watched him as he turned around. He's just a big cheeky grin on his face.
Oh, he loves it.
He's a legend.
Loves it.
Yes, I'm sure whoever wins this one today won't be able to wipe their smile off the face for days, that's for sure.
Because it's this is the thing. It's the importance of an Australian Open final, be it boys singles, ladies pairs, multi-disability. It's the importance of the category, and it's the number one event in the country, isn't it?
It is.
Absolutely.
Everyone wants this title.
Yeah. No, it looks pretty good on the resume, doesn't it? Any Australian Open title, that's for sure. An update thanks to Lockie on the Vision Impaired Pairs final. So Helen Boardman and Jake Felberg. So leading 8-0 after 3 ends against Martin Beck and Scott Kinnear.
The unsung hero of this broadcast is Lockie from this week.
Yep, he's all over it. And with eyes all around the greens. Looking after all our vision switching and graphics.
I was trying to think of a little bit of a thing for him last night while I was watching them. I'm thinking, well, what can we talk about Lockie? But I come up with he's not the technician, he's the magician, but it was a bit corny, but he does a great job. He really does. Even the times we stall, we have double noises, double commentary coming over. He knows how to fix it. He has 3 hammers, and he knows which one to bring out, don't you? They're smiling, yeah.
The big one.
The velvet one.
And hits a golf ball in a number of different ways. Got all aspects of the golf ball last night. Sometimes through the top, sometimes absolutely nailed it. Yeah, some really clean hits.
Lucas,
some ones that almost took out the other players on the range next door to us. I think one gent was lucky he ducked at one stage. The ball may have just sailed over his head.
And it scored too when in this short one.
It got points. That's the way top golf works.
Change of length there going long has tricked him a little bit. It's probably the most open head I've seen, except for that one sitting right near Jack.
Yeah, so it looks like a 1 to Aaron and Brad at the moment.
Look, we are 40 metres away from the head, but it's even hard to see on our screen at the moment with that shadow. But we'll try our best. If you can see it at home, let us know.
Brad looking to slip under the front ones and might not just quite be reaching with this one, but good line for the shot he was going to play. Yeah, all players playing this direction, having to shield themselves from the sun a little bit, looking a little bit into the sun, so not just tricky on us commentators, but a little bit tricky for the players as they play back towards the sun as it makes its way up above the buildings.
And it's definitely, look, it's a muscle memory game, Chris, but that looking into the sun, looking away from the sun, it does play tricks on your eyes, and it will play tricks on your mind.
Yeah.
Brad here on the forehand, just trying to sneak around. Look, he's come to a good home. He will come to a good home there.
Yeah, he's corrected his weight well.
Yep.
And sat. Looks like he's sat on shot, hasn't he? So, yep.
We're thinking the bowl sitting 3 bowls up on the centre line, and like apologies, Our angle is a bit
It's a little bit tricky, isn't it?
tricky, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it
Looks
is.
like Lucas and Ken holding one,
There we go.
we believe.
You can see
There it
better
is.
from that angle. That's good. Yeah, so Aaron calling Brad to stick on that hand, trying to find a way past the one coming in. And yeah, just an update from one of the men's singles semi-finals. So we have Glenn Pitts on 11, Aaron Sheriff on 9. So 11-9 in a race to 21.
And it looks like Matt Miles and Jacob Nelson 10 all now. So there's a tussle out there on our third green. We'll keep you updated where we can. I think we might have a little bit of weight here coming again, Chris.
Yeah, it probably was tricky to find a line around the front one. So Brad backing himself to make a connection, just missed on that occasion. But yeah, it was going to be tricky to outdraw. It was a close first shot there.
Look, if we've got this right, Lucas is holding one. Ken's got a chance here to draw a second and skip out to a little bit of a break. As Lucas smiles again. Good man.
And Ken, with any room in this game so far, he generally has drawn a counter, so he's close again here.
Oh,
What a
that's
bowl, Ken Hanson.
magnificent.
That's a great 2 shots, and that will take Lucas and Ken to 5, a lead of 5-2 after 5 ends.
Well, I've got to say, like you're looking at Lucas has led very well. There's been some great play from Aaron and Brad, but at the moment, after 5 ends, Ken's the standout so far, playing very well.
He has. He's drawn the extras when the opportunity's presented. That's for sure. So, but yeah, look, early in the game, we've just gone through the first third, and 3 shots is certainly no big break at the moment. But
that's the key to the game is that the skips last bowl. A lot of times you see them get that they call the free kick. It's essential if the skip can draw that if they're holding and draw that extra shot, it goes a long way to, gathering their confidence and the victory in the end.
absolutely, and in many of these games, it do come down to the last end. These tight contests, often undervalued how important those bowls are. Some skips might defer to thinking, well, I'm holding here, and maybe that's more important. I'll hang on to the shot and maybe keep the length I prefer, but sometimes drawing that extra shot on these occasions really matters at the end of the game.
And just a reminder that APIA is proud to support the event's volunteers and officials. APIA is helping you live the good life and play bowls. And Lucas and Ken back to that. They've actually went a bit longer than last time, but it's probably a more suitable end for them. They were finding their range difficult there, but Lucas straight onto it.
Yeah, great starter from Lucas.
Now, just where we're sitting, gents, it would be nice for a tiny bit of cloud cover right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Where we're looking into this sun that's peered in behind the skyscrapers. It's poor commentators, everyone will say, but no, it's I'll need SPF 50, a sun visor, and an umbrella.
The cloud cover is getting a touch of it at the moment. It's broken, but it's not so bad.
It was 2 degrees when I left home yesterday morning.
Yeah, certainly. We can't complain too much. Certainly beats lots of cloud cover and some of the cold weather around the country at the moment. Lucas here, close again with his second, even better, not far off at all. Sensational bowl, Lucas. So that's a real good early 2. And as the graphic says, thanks to Lockie, so there we go in the vision impaired pairs final. So Helen and Jake skipping away to a 10-0 lead after 5 ends. Picking up 2 singles on the last 2 ends.
And that will be a 15-end game as well, correct?
It will be, that's right, yeah, 15 ends. So 15 ends for both of the disability pairs finals, so vision impaired and the multi-disability. The singles will be different, of course, so score up as all singles games are.
See, we're learning as we go. It's good.
So
I can see to my right the men's singles semi-final there. The Matty Miles is up 13-10 on Jacob Nelson. I'm not sure what's happening over on the main rink there, on the show rink.
Yeah, the last update we got was 11-9 to Glenn Pitts over Aaron Sheriff. So we'll keep finding out scores where we can and reading those through.
I've just seen on our screens here, Lucas Protopapas just draw another shot, holding 3.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a great 3 shots. It's
I'm gonna go out. He's on fire at the moment. Ken's inspiring him. Ken started out. He's MVP for me so far, but Lucas has just come back so well. They're brilliant bowls.
It's hard, not to be a little bit biased towards Lucas at times. He does bring such a smile to all our faces all the time. But wow, you can't sing the praises of those of that enough.
cool. It looks like in the other men's semi, we've got Glenn Pitts now 11-10 over Aaron Sheriff. But yeah, look, fantastic bowls from Lucas. He's certainly his best end of the game so far. And if he can continue to deliver something like that, we'll make it very tough on Aaron and Brad to score. But what does Ken do here? Does he run for a little bit of cover, lads, or does he try to change the head, do you think?
I'd be going back. I'd be sitting at the back. Brad hasn't shown any fear in having a heavy shot, lines them up beautifully. And that does look like what Ken's done.
Absolutely.
He used to cover the tee at least.
Yep, called it in one, Benny. He's getting back to the tee. And that certainly makes sense when you're holding a very tight 3, as they are.
And on the other hand, I'd still be having a crack at this. He's got a pop jack out in the open.
Yeah.
It's a big target. There's definitely also there's a funnel there, so if you can get an edge off something, it's going to come through.
Yeah, positive.
Yep.
Oh, now the sun's gone behind the clouds. I feel like I can actually see the bowls properly. It's good news. Always
He has played good weight through here, and looks like he's sat third shot, so that's a close 2 anyway. Might still be 3.
But
Jack high bowl.
he has added his own in the front there, which may be a concern getting to the jack now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he can only promote that now, but geez, he was unlucky, and another 2 feet of weight, and he was through there and taking jack.
Yeah, it probably looks like Brad's just got to be a bit more direct with this one, I would think. So more weight, either around his front or through his front. But yeah, certainly that passage is still there.
Well, Ken looked a bit disappointed with that last bowl. I think he wanted to get him behind again. We're looking weight, gents, here.
Brad on the wind-up.
Yeah, not
Playing a bit more weight than his last, but
not crazy weight.
no.
Giving it a chance to come back.
Just be a bit high.
Oh, unlucky.
Rolled a front one out of the way to some extent.
Yeah, he's opened that up.
Yeah, does give chance for Ken to now change the head and trail this jack through the gap himself. Play the opponent's shot first before they can. It's often the rule.
It's often mentioned. Play that shot, beat them to it every time.
And that's a great effort.
Wow.
He's drawn another shot in.
Cracker of a bowl.
Made it a little bit harder for Brad to get to, but
3, possibly 4 there, but it's a big target now.
yeah, he's just got to play something different. And Aaron's calling him to play a little swinger on the forehand here.
Needs to cut it down. The heavy shot's very much still on, but without anything back, it's kind of pointless. He really needs to try to at least get into jack or lay down near Ken there and cut that score down.
Yeah, it seems like that's what sort of Aaron's call. Just sort of reaching weight a little bit through the head. Hopefully finding that bowl just left of jack as we see it on the vision. Right on the right side from his point of view. And out of the hand, his weight looks good. Just a matter of whether it gets down in time.
Waiting for the swing. They are optimistic. They do move a bit. Oh, he's pushed one.
Oh, and he
around.
has. He's taken one out of the head. So look, a fair crack at that. That was couldn't be tight. Had to give it a chance to get to that bowl. And it looks like it's at least 2, 3. It is 3. 3
Three's
for
the
Lucas
call.
and Ken. So score moves along to 8-2 after 6 ends.
The skill level in this game at the moment is just fantastic. All 4 players are thereabouts, drawing shots, weight shots. It's actually a fantastic game to watch this.
To get to this level, they've got to be able to play every single shot they in the book. and they're putting them all on display here.
Well, Lucas said to me the other day, he said, Cole, we'll have to have a go bowls one day. I said, that'd be great. After watching this, no. Lucas, the answer's no. I'm not playing with you. You're too good.
Yeah, and thanks to Lockie for the score update in the vision impaired open pairs. So we've got Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear on the board, scoring their first shot in the sixth end. So could be a turning point for them, but certainly Helen Boardman and Jake Felberg with a good lead of 10-1.
Continue this run of
six ends.
Now, Lucas and Ken just skipped away here. Now it's 6-shot lead after 6 ends. It's a little bit of a break.
Yeah, sticking with the preferred length as well, it looks like. Which makes sense.
The Aaron and Brad are just questioning the length. And we're going to get a measure.
Looks okay to me.
Yeah, I think this will be legal as well. So we look around the greens for some other scores. It looks like Matt Miles leading 13-11. That'd be right, Ben, at the moment, with other result to come in shortly.
A little bit unsighted there, but I just glanced across as we're waiting for this, and I can tell you, so Matty was pretty happy with that head.
They're going down for a measure in this head at the moment, but Matt Miles leading 13-11 at this point in time over Jacob Nelson. And in the game of Glenn Pitts versus Aaron Sheriff, it is 12-all. So again, two very tight games there.
It's another little State of Origin battle happening over there in that men's semi. They were mentioning that yesterday. Matty Miles is one of the nicest men in bowls, and yeah, we're chatting about that.
Yeah, and played very well through the pairs as well. So him and Jesse Nerona said almost making their way through the final, but yeah, very good effort to get to the semis.
Now, for those watching at home, that jack roll from Lucas is what we would consider perfect. It was in by a whisker, and Ken called short. He put it to the perfect length. We are playing just beyond minimum.
That's it. Yeah, no, good jack roll from Lucas and a good opening bowl as well.
Non-stop smiles from that man.
Yep, and Kyle, you requested a bit of cloud cover. Seems like it's ask and shall receive.
I did put an order in. It's just a little bit to keep me happy. I don't know anyone else.
That's a good opener from Aaron as well. Probably they do need a bit of a turning point here to get themselves back in the game. And
wow,
it's a great way to respond.
And I guess you look at a pairs format here, Ben. You've got a 6-2 lead from Lucas and Ken. Aaron's just drawn shot. The tactic here, I guess it's just get second shot. Just get second shot. If you go one down here, it's not damage, is it?
I think at the early parts of this game, it's okay. We're still, it's still okay to go down 1 or 2. One, you're not going to have any panic at 6 up, but things like that. If you start losing shots, then they can come back to bite you at the end of the game. You definitely want to maintain any lead.
Yes, Aaron just looking to replicate, as Lucas was a bit disappointed in his second bowl there. He gave that away early. And a shake of the head as he walked back to pick up his third bowl.
He doesn't leave his emotions hidden there. He really tells us what he thinks of his bowls as they go down.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing him a game of poker.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of an easy read.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
Yeah,
actually, he'll know. He'll watch this back anyway.
He will.
35 times.
There's a fair chance he can hear us anyway.
Yeah. Look, he's happy with that one. Gave that a long stare, but perfect line, just a touch short. But yeah.
Aaron just trying to add to the count here.
Yeah, it was only just over with his last. Looks like he's dropped a little bit of weight with this one. And might end up just behind.
That's a cracker. It's a good bowl.
Yep.
Second shot.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it? So, looks like holding 2 on the cross at the moment, Aaron and Brad. Well, we a bit of a high five between the teammates there.
Yeah, we just saw Lucas drop in
from Glenn Pitts.
Best lead effort in the previous end, and I think that's
Glenn
Aaron's
Pitts
best.
spills it through to his own. That's absolutely brilliant.
So the challenge of that
Magnificent
short
draw
end and
from
got
Glenn
them beautiful.
Pitts. And he regains the
I
wonderful
certainly
dawn.
think so too, Bennett. So both Reeds warming up now.
Great shots.
We are into this 7th end of the game of what is a 15-end game, and it's a disability pairs final.
Pretty good effort there by Ken. He man who needed no warm-up, was on fire from the start. I missed that call as well, whether it's 1 or 2. It looks like second shot from here. We're a long way from it.
Yeah, I think it's 1. I think Ken might have actually just popped in for second there.
So a draw shot on offer here for Brad, playing the forehand.
Yep, running a little wide and long, but that's okay. And you're holding, nothing wrong with having the best backward.
Yeah, Lucas has called 1 down.
Yep. Yeah, can't imagine Ken going really big weight here, albeit the one on the way in does make it a little bit more awkward for him.
And that first bowl being, I've mentioned this a few times for anyone who's been listening, that's about as good as bowl as a lead can put down. It's the hardest shot. It makes no target. And, well, the thinnest target you can possibly create sitting there behind Jack, and that's exactly what you want a lead to do. If they can do that every time, you'll probably win the game.
Yeah, it's one of those ends too where in the position there, RN, Lucas and Ken being 6 in front, 1 down might not be a horrible result. There is chance could go worse if Ken gets the wrong connection.
Well, Brad just narrowing his bowl up there. He's done quite well.
May have drawn second, albeit Lucas seems to indicate just 1 still. He's about to walk up to the head and have a closer look, but Ken's already on the mat.
Yeah, wasting no time, knows what he wants to do.
Yeah, he certainly doesn't muck around, Ken, and he does look closer with his line here, but maybe not the weight.
Want to come, called down to have the same shot. Just adjusted. It only has to be adjusted a couple of inches.
Yeah, you would think if he just gets inside his last bend, he would be a big chance here of drawing second. Aaron giving him a foot to indicate where Jack High is. Certainly, yeah, it wasn't far away. It might just run through a little bit again. Aaron's going to move the first shot. They will have a look for second, but looks like it's only going to be 1. And it is. So 1 to Aaron and Brad, taking the score to 8-3 Lucas and Ken in Lucas and Ken's favour after 7 ends.
And as I look around the grounds again here, I just saw Hollywood, and I just realised that with Kyle, Hollywood and I here, that's pretty rare to see 3 RBMs in one spot, and he's the only Queenslander. Jason Pinnock asking for no more State of Origin talk, but good old Hollywood's there, and he's proudly in his Queensland jersey this morning.
Yeah, he was there last night too, so
was he
fortunate
really?
to be there. And yeah, as always, I look around the green, some score updates from those semi-finals. So we've got Matt Miles leading 14-11 at the moment, so over Jacob Nelson. So that's looks like in this current end, Jacob's holding a couple and has just trailed the Jack. Well, probably still remains 2.
Yeah, he's definitely got a couple there. I can actually see that more closely than I can see the other end of this game we're commentating on here. And back to the long ends for Aaron. That strong left hand, delivering down his backhand now.
It looks like 3 to Jacob there. That'll bring the match back to 14-all.
And in the Vision and Pairs, impaired pairs final, so Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear picking up a 3 there to take the score to 10-4 in favour of Helen and Jake. So Martin and Scott making a bit of a comeback, scoring 4 shots in the last 2 ends after being 10-0 down.
And Glenn Pitts leads Aaron Sheriff 14-12 now. Lucas, that's just sensational lead bowling from the young fella.
Yeah, especially on a longer end, where they have been preferring to play shorter ends, and Lucas has now found his range on his opponent's preferred length, so that's always a good indication too. Good indication for Lucas and Ken, of course, so a bit worrying probably for Aaron and Brad.
I had a chat with Mr. Pinnock recently about Aaron and Brad, and he said they are sensational fellas, great bowlers, and they will stick into the entire 15 ends. So there will be a fight back at some stage.
Yeah, and a good adjustment there from Aaron. Short with his first, but yeah, to only be a mat width away with his second is a very good bowl. So. See if Lucas can replicate with his second here, or even just slip around his first bowl. Either way, it is tracking well.
Oh, hasn't he found his range?
Yeah,
that's a great bowl.
Two great lead bowls there from Lucas.
Yeah, one on Jack, one slightly behind.
It's all these tournaments he's been playing. See, he's out and about. He's been practicing.
Yeah, he's been a bit crook, the poor fella too. So he's been fighting a bit of a flu sort of thing for about 3 weeks.
I thought it was just the fact that he hasn't stopped talking for 3 weeks.
Maybe.
I do get the conversations from Lucas when he calls up and trying to harass my clubs playing in tournaments above $3,000 in prize money to sign up for ranking points. He's more switched on to what tournaments are happening around the country than any person anyone else in the country, I'd suggest.
He has been doing a good job working on the right at home desk too in our Australian Open marquee. Right at home, good partners of Bowls Australia, and Lucas, one of their ambassadors, so he's been there up for a chat and giving away bowls, cloths and pens to anyone that's willing.
Except me, I haven't seen one yet.
His third bowl just dropping a little short there, but the first two having done the damage. Magnificent.
And we talk about the members here of the Broadbeach Bowling Club and all the clubs around, the volunteers. And we must also, at this stage, mention APIA, proud to support our event volunteers and officials. APIA is helping you live the good life and play bowls.
It's two cracking bowls for Lucas. So bit of decision for Brad here to make, whether he tries for an open draw or really gives himself a chance at reaching with a bit of a catcher behind.
And we just see one of APIA's, we call him Ambassador, Barry Lester, running around his APIA shirt doing some media work. If you're down in the Broadbeach area, come on down and see some players. You can tap anyone on the shoulder. Even Benny Kay will do an autograph today, I'm sure.
Great bowl from Brad here. He's given it a really good chance at arriving and touch wide. I had the result there. He's looking
exactly
for.
right.
I've been doing autographs all week, Kyle.
I actually got Warren Shipley to do an autograph just to give to Val the other day. And Val said, "What that?" I said, "It's Warren Shipley's." And he said, "It's in pen." I said, "Well, Warren normally only uses crayons, so that's all right."
Oh, Ken's got the right weight there by the looks, and just actually some pretty good protection there. With Brad likely to play his forehand.
When Shippo signed that, Kyle, did it decrease the value of the item you were signing?
Look, we were going to raffle it off, but we're now looking at it being an auction situation. So what'll happen is Shippo will auction and he'll say how much it'll be that he'll pay you to take it. So at the moment, yeah.
I just of course. No, Shippo, great bowls administrator and player in his own right in New South Wales. So good to see him. He always has a crack at many of the major events. And
that's the thing with people like Warren Shipley, and I always push his barrow, but the man is an awesome administrator, and we couldn't survive in New South Wales without people like him, and I imagine that's in every state. Just a quick update. Glenn Pitts, Aaron Sheriff. Glenn Pitts 16 leads Aaron Sheriff 12.
And in the other semi-final, Jacob Nelson skipping out to a lead now, so 15-14, so over Matt Miles. So Matt Miles has been leading for good proportion of that game. But, Jacob Nelson now leading 15-14.
Well done, Ken, there. His drop run around the side there is probably could be holding 3. I can't. It's hard to tell from this angle whether that front bowl of Aaron's is holding them out.
Yeah, Brad was just lining up there and then just pausing for a bit of a rethink. So, yeah, just reconsidering what shot he might play.
Yeah, having a really good look. But asking the question now, position of bowls. Sometimes the skip can see different things to the lead. It
didn't look like anyone was moving around behind him, just checking with Aaron on.
So we are going to have a word with Lucas and ask him to get out of the way.
As we said before, nice delivery from Brad. Is very clean and got a very premeditated pre-shot routine. He's played the right draw weight. He's just slid off the front. May have got.
He's got a second
shot. So that's taken a little bit of pain away, which is good. Ken with a chance for another free kick here. He pretty safe. Lucas is saying if he can get inside that front one, then that will be good enough. Ken thinking about that. Not often Ken takes this long on the mat. No, coming down for a look. Yeah, he's yep.
Take your time, Ken.
Yeah, no need to run. 3 hour space.
Yeah, he's probably maybe just slightly concerned if there is any movement, if he rolls that front one, what might happen. But also having a good look at that one that's a fair way short, but could be close to his drawing line.
Well, he's only looking for a little bit of a touch here on the jack or the front bowl. But in saying that, you don't want to disturb it too much because you could go from one down to one up to one down. That's the problem.
Yeah, and this stage of the game, that is quite a big swing, that 2-shot swing. A lead of 6 looks much better than a lead of 4, and probably just going to err on the safe side, I would think here, Ken.
He's wide enough to stay away.
Yeah, no change at the head. He's run into that short bowl just behind Lucas on the vision.
One to the blue.
It is one, so Lucas and Ken skip away to a 9-3 lead after 8 ends. Remembering that this is a 15-end match. This one, all our disability pairs matches are 15 ends.
Gents, just a reminder with Glenn Pitts leading Aaron Sheriff 16-12. A lot of people out there probably don't realise, at the pointy end of the tournament, Aaron will now go from that particular match, have a rest for whatever period of time, and go straight into a pairs game around the back. So it's full on for these top echelon of these players at this time of the week.
Absolutely, yes. And it's just not their physical fitness, but their mental fitness as well. It takes a great amount of concentration to be at the top of your game for sustained periods of time, and that's where these players like Aaron can do that time after time again. But does take practice. It's not something that comes easily.
And Lockie, our statistician, the David Middleton of bowls, as I like to call him, he's saying that Aaron might have to play a 4 semi-final this afternoon as well. So
when you're drawing like
again,
that,
3 matches on the one day and at this level.
And then more matches tomorrow, potentially.
It's a good lesson
And
for
you can see, you talk about the mental strength. We saw it yesterday. I'm going to mention that game again between Jacob and Disco. Aaron just having come off a loss in the 4s, had to then immediately come and play his singles game. And then coming off a loss when you're disappointed, you've made the finals and get into the game, you could see the frustration on his face after just a couple of ends, and he wasn't quite switched on. That even at the top level, that mental strength is really obvious as an important part of the getting to the finals of these matches in this tournament.
It's often said in bowls that finding the right time to be able to switch off is important, so you can be there at the right moments of the game. But great opener from Lucas, and as we're getting some score updates from the men's semi-finals in the singles, so Glenn Pitts now out to a 17-12 lead over Aaron Sheriff. And speaking of 17, so it is Jacob Nelson's out to a 17 lead over Matt Miles. So Yeah, it's 17-14. So, both in a race to 21, as with all the other singles matches.
Now, Lucas and Ken have gone back to this reasonably short length. And as you said, Chris, Lucas has put one probably about a half a metre short, just looking to correct here, and he looks on a good track.
Yeah, he's certainly finding his range well now, Lucas. So
just missed on the weight again, but he's got 2 in front.
Yeah, 2 good siders, something for Ken to build with. And Aaron looking just to correct from his first. He's back on that, well, he's definitely on that forehand again as a left-hander.
Played a good bowl going this way the last time around. He was playing the other hand, but has played another good bowl this time, just snuck through the gap. May have done enough to draw a shot.
Yeah, Ken pointing his index finger at the ground there, 1 down. I'm not sure if he got a little touch on the way through. It looked like it to me, but...
No, we'll get our security staff to remind Ken to get out of the way in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'll stir him, Ben, don't you worry. Get out of the way.
Excellent.
Lucas really probably wanting a bit more light on. Yeah, it's not ideal to drop 3 short. He has put that extra weight on, rolled one of his front ones, and
holding
Ken
up.
indicating, that last one is the shot.
But I've been told this over this week, and I'm told this. I'm learning the game myself, so bear with me, people. 3 usable bowls from Lucas for Ken to play with there. He's got 3 bowls that he can actually work into the head for it, to move up to the jack.
Absolutely, yeah.
Any bowl within a metre is going to be useful at some point. Probably better forward and back on the right line than on the wings, but any bowl within a metre generally pretty good.
And the same there for Aaron. There's, even the one out to the left there, possible, but there's 2 very good usable bowls just behind the jack there.
Absolutely. Yeah, how's the old saying go? You can't be knocked into the head if you're not short. So Lucas has generally got some knock-upable bowls there.
I haven't heard that before, and I'm definitely going to use that from now on.
I'm primarily a lead, and I'm only 1 6 foot short. The other one's in the pit, so I'm 1 out of 2 ain't bad, but not very usable. And
Ken arrive on those knock-upable bowls. So,
knock-upable?
Yeah, knock-upable, that's it. Yeah, just made that a word.
Oh, he's moved.
He's, good reaching weight, but I said, had a chance to bring 1 or 2 extras into the head there with them already, said holding 1, it looks like.
Knock-upable.
Now, gentlemen, you've heard Lockie, Lockie, apologies. You've heard Val before talk about the checkout zone. We both understand what the checkout zone is. Glenn Pitts is in the checkout zone big time. He's 18-12 up against Darren Sheriff.
He's at the deli, just selecting his cold meats before he heads to the registers.
The way it's going, this is self-serve, I'm telling you now, but definitely it's 18-12.
Some of our
viewers playing Aaron Sheriff, so 3 shots still seems like a lot to get.
A bit of a pause here on the green.
Not sure I'd be checking out unless it was 2012 and maybe.
No, definitely don't check out against the
holding 3 shots maybe. Yeah,
against the greatest player in the world at the moment. No,
I did hear a little bell before, and apparently Lucas had some cookies in the oven, and they're ready. He's just going to get them out. So, where is he? No, he's out in the green.
Yeah, he's over on the corner watching the. I think we've just had
No, Brad has had to he's go for a bit of a comfort stop, so that's why there's a bit of a delay in play here. Ken, being the good sport he was indicating to Aaron before who was holding shot as Brad had ducked away from the head. But, just a reminder, there are no time limits. Well, there is a time limit in this game, but it is fairly generous in terms of being 3 hours for a 15-end game, so we shouldn't run into any issues running out of time in any case. In the updates from the singles, so it looks like still 17-14 to Jacob Nelson over Matt Miles, and we'll get a score update from the Glenn Pitts Aaron Sheriff game. It was 18-12 at the last update, and you can see the score there on the vision impaired pairs final. So 10-4 after 8 ends. That's in favour of Helen Boardman and Jake Philberg. We're leading 10-0, but Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear have made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, we're about to lose that cloud cover, Kyle. It's about to get nice and sunny again. I hope you're covered up in sunscreen and being sun safe.
I try my best. Now, Glenn Pitts holds 2 over on our number 1 rink, with a bowl to come each here on this end.
Jacob Nelson picking up 1 to make it 18-14 against Matt Miles.
And Brad's just making his way back to the rink now.
I like that comfort stop, nature stop. That's a Tour de France reference, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I'm just glad they they take their comfort stops better than the riders in the Tour de France. That'll be a bit off-putting for our spectators.
Yeah, and with the sun coming out, so Brad also losing his jacket now. So he's getting quite warm. So the cloud cover has gone. Brad, understandably, just going back for a look at what the head looks like, because he's missed the last few bowls. So it's well within his rights to do that. Have a look. And as we scan around and just keep an eye on the men's semi-singles final as well. Looks like Matt Miles is holding 1 shot, albeit he's down 18-14. Jacob Nelson has drawn a close second, holding 2 seconds at the moment. A bowl each left to play on their end.
All right.
So
on the mat, lining up on his backhand. That is the space where I'd be drawing to as well. I think there's that little gap there, a little window of opportunity to get to the jack.
yes, Ben, he can certainly just fall inside that bowl that's just short of jack high. Okay, and Glenn Pitts picking up another 2 in his semi-final against Aaron Sheriff. That's a good effort from Brad there.
Played it with really positive weight and collided with the front and just fell in. And it looks like I'll get a call from Lucas in a sec.
1 and a measure is the call. Now, Chris, these the chair that Brad's using, they're all, and people might be asking at home, but they're all specifically designed so they don't track the greens, affect the greens at all. There, it's a design that is approved by bowling clubs, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So most of the chairs and walking frames these days are approved for use on bowling greens. They do have to have wheels of a certain dimension, and they're generally more than 45 millimetres. So absolutely safe for play and won't cause any issues to the greens. Of course, these days many of our greens they're not just grass; they're synthetic or artificial surfaces, and very durable anyway. So I think. Yeah, generally sometimes we can all be a bit worried about the state of the greens, but look, the main issue is I think the more people we get bowling, whether they be set in chairs, walking frames, or even barefoot bowlers, the more people we can get playing, the better, that's for sure.
Great shot here. I just went through the head too bit. He looks like he's held the shot still.
Yeah, he may have just followed through there, wasn't it? It was a cracking shot.
1 in, 1 out. And speaking of the chairs, I've seen a lot of different designs, actually, some with really wide wheels on the front and things like that. And then, look, there's lots of different options out there to get them on the green, but great shot there. Great pair of shots there by Brad.
Yeah, it's certainly got Ken walking up the head to have a look, to see what the position is and what sort of shot he might be looking to play.
I'm going to give a big shout out now. I'm dropping names all over the place, but a mate of mine, Jamie Sager. Jamie plays out of the Guandalan Club on the Central Coast, and he has had a couple of health battles last year or so. But again, I'll promote wheelchair sports in New South Wales, looking to get him back on the green, because I said to him the other day, what do you want to do? He said, I just want to go and bowl again. So good on you, Jamie. He's an inspiration to a lot of his all of his family and friends in that area.
I do have a question for you, Kyle, as an RBM for your region. When you're here and watching the players from your region play, do you feel a soft spot for them? You barrack for them?
Oh, look, I do. It's you get a connection with your clubs, you get a connection with the people in that area, and you try. I have a soft spot for all of them because I'd love to see them succeed and their players go well. Bowls has always been a little bit about. They talk about survival of bowls. I think it's more of advancement of the positivity of the bowling clubs these days, and we're just out there to get as many members for these clubs and as many people playing the game. That's our goal.
Couldn't agree more. And I mention that because I'm watching Matty Miles play over here in the semi-final with a real tension. Oh, Ken just dropping short there, but yeah, with a real tension. I'm getting a little distracted. Obviously, Matty from Figgy Bolo, one of my favourite places in the Illawarra.
And Jacob Nelson leading that match 18-15 at the moment.
So, Ben, that was just a bit of an excuse for our viewers for this bias.
Yeah, no.
Ignore the bias. Yes, it's there.
I'm not going to, look, sitting here trying not to be biased towards Lucas. I'm definitely biased to the game we're not calling.
What's Brad going to do here?
Yeah, he's holding. Doesn't want to risk knocking things around too much. I don't know what he thinks he's got back, but his first two bowls have been very positive. I can't see him doing much different here.
Yeah, definitely looking to hold on to a score here, having only picked up 3 singles so far this game.
It's going to be a change.
Oh, he's rolled his own through.
That's Lucas now, I do believe.
Both, they're having a look around, so Lucas favouring. They might have the shot with the bowl jack high now.
Joe just popping down to have a measure.
Yeah, Brad might have been a little bit stiff there, just pushing that too far through the head. Certainly a reasonable shot he had in mind. And it is 1 to Lucas and Ken, so yeah. Maybe a little bit fortunate to pick up the shot there, but they will take it anyway.
You take it.
Do skip away to a 10-3 lead now after 9 ends. So a 15-end game, so 7 shots in front with 6 ends to go.
And, of course, Joe Franzi there from the Broadbeach Bowling Club, one of our valuable volunteers. And APIA is proud to support the event's volunteers and officials. APIA is helping you live the good life and play bowls.
Joe Franzi. I've seen him on the feeds a few times. Always has something to say, which is great. Aaron and Brad really need to win in the end and get some control back in this game. It's starting to skip away a bit now. 15-end games is a short format.
Yeah, it was that 2-shot swing we spoke of before, isn't it? So, certainly chasing 7 a little bit harder than chasing 5 now for Aaron and Brad. But, look, I suppose you couldn't fault Brad for thinking that there was a chance to draw a second shot in there and close that gap even more. But having another look at this length here, this one probably is closer to minimum length. Kenny pacing it out.
Oh, it's all over on the...
Yep, the applause you can hear in the background is the completion of the one-event semi-final, and Jacob Nelson has won that 21-15 over Matt Miles, who again has had a great tournament, being a semi-finalist in the men's pairs and a semi-finalist in the men's singles. So well done to Matt Miles, but Jacob Nelson, the victor in that match, and heads off to the final tomorrow afternoon.
Lucas just starting on his backhand here.
Slightly longer than they have been throwing, but still not a long length. Oh, he's put that in very nicely. A foot and a half behind Jack.
Yeah, it's a ripping opener from Lucas, so on their preferred length. Of course, deemed legal, it was long enough. But Aaron getting a feel for these shorter ends, and doesn't look far away with his first here either. Yeah,
he's
a couple of rolls short of Jack, but probably good enough a shot.
Yeah, Brad's sticking his finger in the air, indicating 1. Very nice lead bowl there from Aaron.
And you can see the score updates from the vision impaired pairs finals. So Helen Boardman and Jake Fehlberg leading 14-4 after 9 ends, and that's against Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear. So also a 15-end game, so they're on their 10th end now, 15. Lucas, great second bowl. Might have rested shot away there from Aaron. Certainly does look like it from this angle that Lucas is holding shot.
John Seitman just asking if there was a possibility of a player being in all 3 finals, and if it's happened previously, I'm going to throw that over to the important people to my left, and
I don't believe so. Don't believe someone's played in all 3 finals before. In terms of the main open ones, singles, pairs, and fours, could said to be corrected. But in terms of an update from the other men's semi-final, we just do have one, and it's Glenn Pitts on 20, Aaron Sheriff 16.
Bit of a turn up.
2016. So Omar definitely not out of the game yet.
Yeah, Aaron just picked up a 3 on that last end. It is very tense over there. No, it's not us ringing.
I've got a
Aaron not liking that bowl out of the hand at all. Gave that up early, so just a bit short and cutting the head. But
his first 2 have done the damage. They'll definitely be holding 2. Oh no, that's Lucas in the middle.
yeah, Lucas on the right hand
He's
side.
got 1.
So yeah, he's got Lucas a decent 3 around the jack. So 1 just on the way in holding shot and 2 behind.
Lucas, holding 1, but Ken was really pleased with the other 2 behind. He was happy with those because he's got something to work with here.
Yeah.
He's just going to try and advance Lucas's front bowl up slightly.
Yeah, and he can do it very safely with Lucas's 2 waiting behind as well.
Yeah, good option. I'd suggest that's the shot I saw first. There is a draw on the other hand, but this is the shot to play. Hasn't put the weight on it to do so, but
Ken also dirtied himself there, throwing his arm around in disgust.
But even where it's sitting, but if Brad needs to play weight, it could be a concerning one at the front for him at some stage. But what's he going to play forehand here?
Yeah, just looking to turn Aaron's bowl through, a little bit. It's like the weight's going to be okay. Is it going to get the bowl? He has got the bowl, but might have just hit it a bit hard.
yeah, it has been running through a little bit over the last few ends.
Yeah, and that's easy to do as the green picks up pace. So green well and truly in great sunlight now, and certainly has quickened up since the opening ends.
I've noticed Ken's just slowing down the mat and having a listen to Lucas's instructions a bit more now. I think getting to this point in the day there, he wants to take his time, and Lucas is giving some very, very good direction.
No, and Ken not far away with that one, just ran into a short bowl, but probably had the weight to count.
John's saying there he likes Brad's bowls because the tricolours break up the blue.
There's a lot of blue out there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot of blue. There are actually 7 colours, I think, on those ones. Rainbow coloured. He said he usually wears a hat to match them as well. But in uniform today for the finals.
Yeah, so Brad again was probably just a little bit heavy for the shot he was looking to play, but room for either bowler with 1 to go each yet. Ken's thrown it a bit wider. Has thrown another one around the back.
All rolled down.
Fell in. May count, but certainly Aaron giving a mark there for Brad to draw to. Just got just under a foot to draw. 6 or 7 inches in the old scale. But,
One more to Sheriff. Glenn Pitts 20, Aaron Sheriff 17.
Brad close here. Has got the jack. Where's it going to go?
And that was the problem there, right there.
Unlucky. Yeah, he's just trailed it back to Lucas and Ken, and it looks like 2 shots to Lucas and Ken there. So
Lucas and Ken had basically set up a net at the back there. Anything that went back was gonna catch. What are we looking at? 12-3 now after 10 ends.
that's right. And as you're saying before, Ken was quite happy to have those back bowls of Lucas's there, and always a chance of going to come into play. Yeah, having shot and then bowls behind is a perfect lead bowls, and Lucas had certainly set that head up well. Yeah, so 9 shots of difference, 5 ends to go. Game getting away a little bit from Aaron and Brad. Obviously goes without saying they need to win the majority of these last 5, if not all of them.
It's not desperation stakes yet, but you'd think, 1, they have to pick up this end, get the mat back, but 2, you'd want to have possibly a 2 or a 3 here.
Well, yeah, they need those multiples now.
Yeah.
So only having picked up 3 singles in this game so far. Look, Lucas and Ken just been playing too well, not allow them to get the chance of multiples. So, and when you're throwing bowls not far away from the jack, much like Lucas looks like he's doing again here with his opener, yeah, it just makes it that harder again to pick up a couple.
And for Aaron and Brad's fans in West Tamworth and Casino watching, they haven't. The score probably doesn't reflect the game. They've bowled very well. It's just there hasn't been a lot of luck. But Lucas and Ken have put bowls in place that have just been in the way, caught bowls. It's been a great match.
Yeah, especially the way Aaron and Brad started. I thought they started stronger than Lucas and Ken. Ken was pretty good from the get-go, but yeah, Lucas took a little while to warm into the game.
Good shot there.
And now that he has, putting some great pressure on his opposing lead.
Good shot there by Aaron, just sitting at the back there. Good start, but yeah, I think I agree with everything you've said there. Brad having to play some heavier shots because Lucas and Ken have had them all around and making it tough to draw and tough to defeat in a more calm sense, if that makes sense. A couple of West Australians on the line here. We've got Wayne from Yanchep and Marion from Carnarvon, all north of Perth. Beautiful part. I love Yanchep. Great part of the world. And here comes Aaron's second as Lucas dropped his in behind, and this one's a little short on the line though.
Yeah, another fair bowl there. Ken giving Lucas a couple of options here, so there's room on either hand. Lucas sort of indicating for a preference, and Ken giving him a mark, saying, yep, stick to the forehand then. Plenty of room, jack high.
Quick update. It's a tidy. 2018 Pitts over Sheriff.
The men's singles semi-final. Yeah, wow. So, never rule out a champion like Omar, that's for sure. It's, Aaron looking for 3 and Glenn looking for 1. Hey? It's a tight contest now.
Oh,
Aaron here on this rink, Aaron Kelly that is, has played a great bowl, trial the jack. And, that's an absolute cracker.
Don't worry about Sheriff and Pitts. We've got a game here, people.
That was a great bowl. He's as good a lead end as he's played. 2 out of his 3 really close and enough probably for 2. I don't think he moved Jack that far back.
Yeah, it's close for a second shot, isn't it? Between does have that one just shy of Jack high, and Lucas has got one there behind. So
having a close look. Have had a close look, and Ken not wasting any time.
I've got to start saying Protopapas or Protopapas a few more times so I get it right. It's like Crixtolitis. Yeah, see, Wallace and Langley are fine. It's okay, yeah.
And Williams,
yeah.
It's not the size of the name.
It's the size of the individual.
Yeah, well, I went on that count too, lads.
Brad looking to add an extra, just pulled up a bit short there, but
yeah,
Ken reasonable weight with his first.
Yeah, I'd suggest he's trying to adjust his weight a bit. He has played heavy the last 2 ends and run through even when he's attempting to draw, and throwing one a couple of metres short like that may give him some, just readjust his mindset a bit.
Yeah, Ken wasn't far away from his second as Lucas just jumped in front of the camera, but we've gave that a good chance of reaching the jack or even sitting that shot bowl. So touching on before, Brad and Aaron probably desperately needing a multiple at this stage of the game, and Brad looking to add a second shot in here. May get jack, has moved it, but looks like it's still only 1. Probably a better one.
Yeah, it's back there with Ken's covering bowl.
Yeah, so that'll cause Ken to go down and have a bit of a look to see what shot he might play now. Certainly be different to the first 2 he's looking to play. That's Ken looking for a way home to the jack, and can see a bit of a path through there.
Oh,
Again,
sounds like
probably-
cheers from over there.
Yeah, we can hear cheers from the other men's singles semi-final. We'll get a result for you as soon as we can.
I'll give you a result.
Sheriff has won.
Aaron Sheriff has done what many thought he may. He's come back. He's won 21-20.
Oh my.
Amazing.
Picked up a 3 in the last end. Look,
Can never write off a champion.
never
that's
right
for
of a
sure.
champion. The cream rises to the top all the time, and it's he just continued playing the way he plays. But well played to Glenn Pitts. What a great
Absolutely
effort
amazing
from
game. Leading
from him.
2012, was he?
Leading 2012 at one stage, yeah. Unbelievable. But
Yeah, incredible.
what a great match.
Yeah, and Aaron's got a 4 in the last end apparently. So yeah, he only needed 3, but picked up 4 anyway. So yeah, amazing.
Just for next time, he's
Yeah.
put one in the bank.
Yeah. No doubt, Glenn thinking what might have been, but yeah, look, amazing effort to get through the semi-final and be leading a champion like Aaron for so long in that game. But
Well, back to our superstars here. What have we got? Close for a measure there, or have we got the boys from Kelly and Gilbert holding?
no, Kelly and Gilbert holding 1, and yeah, not a lot of room to draw the second. So
And probably as Brad lines up here, you're worried about his weight. He definitely needs a multiple, but yeah, look, there's a chance Kim may not even throw his last bowl, and if he does, he'll play it very, very safe.
yeah, no, that is the last bowl of the end. So
Oh, my apologies.
yeah, no, it's
threw his last one safe.
Yep, all good. Yeah, Ken just missed with his last, but there we go. So it looks like it's 1 to Aaron and Brad, which will take the scores to 12-4 after 11 in favour of Lucas and Ken.
And they've got the mat back. And Chris, update, I noticed that Boardman and Fellberg were leading 10-0 originally in the Vision and Pairs final, but we're going to score update now.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? So Brock and Kinnear coming back at them. So Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear now picking up a few shots to only be behind by 4. So 14-10 after 11 ends. So, yeah, and a bit of discussion going on amongst the players over there now as they look to, come to the pointy end of the game as well. Only 4 ends to go.
How good are these crowds here this morning? It's you look around the greens, there's a mixture of different demographics. I'm looking at some young people going, why aren't you at school? I'm looking at others go, why aren't you at the beach? But there is a great mixture of demographic here and a lot of people out on the banks and in the club.
Yeah. Oh, look, this is the place to be today, that's for sure. So perfect greens, perfect atmosphere, great bowls. Why would you be anywhere else? So yeah.
Oh, we've been saying it all week. The crowds here at Broadbeach are amazing. Same at Helensvale yesterday. They were packed 4 deep for all the games along the club itself. Put a little bit of a photo montage up of the amount of people around that bottom green. And once again, huge amount of interest in these games.
All right, we're at the tough point now. 12-4, Lucas and Ken lead. Only 4 ends to go. They basically need multiples every end now to make this happen. They've thrown the long end, basically T to T.
Yeah, Aaron a bit disappointed with himself there, being short and tight with his first. But yeah, we'll see if Lucas can put the pressure on by getting first shot after the others playing their preferred length. As streams of people wander by, walking from one Aaron Sheriff game to another. The men's pairs final action about to commence at 11:30. Probably looking for a spot in the grandstand already, which will fill up very shortly.
Now, Lucas has come up about a metre short. He is on a good track there, but it's a handy bowl with a 12-4 lead.
Yeah, no doubt. Said Aaron will adjust off his first, and yeah, it looks like better weight already and a better line.
I'm a little bit unsighted here. The crowd's just filtering out from the grandstands and surrounding the greens around us.
Yeah, that's a good second bowl from Aaron. Good enough for shot.
I'm sure I saw a few of these faces on camera at the State of Origin last night too, just looking around.
There's some dusty-looking people around too, isn't there?
Yeah, a couple of Maroons jerseys, or at least maroon-coloured bowl shirts.
Some good blue and gold of the Huskerson Bowling Club walking past me as well, Bruce Goldsmith, who's about to move up to Helensvale.
Lucas just looking to adjust here with his weight. On that backhand, he needs to slide past his front bowl. Look, this is a good. This is a great result.
Has played great weight, and that's a great shot there.
Brilliant adjustment.
Yep.
Great line. Just avoiding his at the front and getting there to the jack. Magnificent bowl by Lucas.
Only a little bit narrow, but said the green is quickening up. So, getting bowls within a mat length is very good at this stage of the game.
Yeah, that sun is really beating down now. The shine is coming up on the green.
I'll get abused when I get home. My wife will say, "You went to the Gold Coast. Did you really call the bowls, or were you at the beach?"
Yeah, my wife not watching either.
Aaron Kelly with a good reply there, and almost got the shot, but I think it looks like Lucas is still holding. But, true to that jack high bowl.
What can the young man do here? He's going to stick on that backhand. He's got his weight very, very well at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly found his range on these longer ends, which was Aaron and Brad's go-to. So, that's half the battle. If you can find your weight on your opponent's preferred length, well, yeah.
And again, great bowl, great covering bowl. As a skip, you'd walk back and you'd be very happy with the situation.
Yeah, high five there from Kenny and Lucas. So
actually, he passed a biscuit to him on the way through. That's what it was.
I have, yeah. Have you seen your biscuit lately?
It's sitting over here.
Okay, still got eyes on it?
I did drop it on the floor. I did do the 2-second rule, but we'll wait and see.
Like Scooby Snacks.
Scooby Snacks, look out. All right, this is a big bowl for Brad. This is a big end for the boys. Aaron and Brad,
huge.
They have to score here. They have to score a multiple.
Yeah, it's only picking up 4 singles so far. It's that stage of the game where they do need at least a score and probably a multiple. But Brad has a chance here on the forehand. He's got his own bowl coming in. Aaron's, which is just short of jack high. Probably get a roll out of that, slip underneath.
Track looks good. Track looks very good. We're going to slip by.
Just going to run through a bit. But, still 2 more chances.
I did find the beach there, unfortunately.
Yeah, fell in. Hard to get multiples when you don't have bowls in play, and so he won't be happy with that.
No.
It's a constant stream of people walking in front of us here.
Fantastic crowds here at Broadbeach today. It's certainly going to be standing room only, I think, around the Green 4 later today.
I can go for the cliche. Bowls is alive, but Bowls is the winner. But it's brilliant to see this many people out here.
Yeah. So Brad looking to adjust off his first. So a little bit quick and narrow with his first bowl, but certainly taken a wider line. Also looks like he's adjusted his weight. Is it right, though? Oh, it's just short, but good, fair effort. Ken looking to Lucas for some direction, and Lucas, pretty confident they still are holding 1.
Really need to keep playing with confidence, Aaron and Brad.
Yeah.
Because Ken and Lucas will be.
Well, Lucas has just called 1 and a measure, so Ken's going to come down on the forehand just on draw weight.
Yeah, Lucas just saying be a bit careful of the 1 on the way in. I think Ken looks like he's picked a line that will be definitely underneath the front one, so he's safe there.
His weight looks brilliant.
And
up you come. Oh, no, it just dropped.
Yeah, it wasn't too far away, but still a slight door being open there for Brad to get in, and does need to.
There's a very deliberate wind-up.
Love that pendulum he uses there. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great swing. So give it a really good chance.
Almost gave it an edge.
Missed his own bowl. Yeah,
Definitely gave himself every opportunity.
That outside
to
edge
get
would have worked. Yeah.
Now, it looks like Lucas and Ken are holding 1 here. This would really shut the door if he draws a second shot. Ken Hanson on the way on the forehand.
Yeah, Look, he may have just spooned this one a little bit, and that's okay.
Spooned it, yes.
He's
Poor Ken.
No, he didn't need to change anything there, that's for sure. So, it's, yep. He kicked one out of the head already.
In two minds, I think, yeah, for sure. But
yeah, I hate that, having two shots in your mind and trying to play them both. It's hard to do with one bowl.
it's hard enough playing one shot when it's in your mind.
Yeah, indeed.
Tapes out for the second.
Yeah, looking for second. Yeah, Lucas had called it as one of the measure, and that's certainly what it looks like. But one thing is for certain, Aaron and Brad will remain on 4 after 12 ends.
We've got Joe Franzi down doing the measuring for us, just chocking those bowls, and just reminding everyone that APIA is proud to support the event's volunteers and officials. APIA is helping you live the good life and play bowls.
And again, if you happen to be in the area of the Gold Coast, then some fantastic action coming up this afternoon, including the men's pairs final, which will kick off at 11:30, and then the women's singles at 2 p.m. this afternoon. So, if you're not around the Gold Coast, then by all means stay tuned to the streamed vision, and also on Channel 7 this afternoon. So live, or I should say this morning from 11:30. So all action on 7.2 and our friends in Sky Sports in New Zealand.
I did miss the call there, but it looks like 1. Yep, 13-4 on the scoreboard.
And yeah, just 3 ends to go now. So Aaron and Brad needing 9 at least to force the extra end, or 10 to win off the remaining 3 ends. Just 15 end games, the multi-disability pairs and also the vision impaired pairs, which is being played next door. So has been a great comeback in that game. So Helen Boardman and Jake Fulberg were leading 10-0 against Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear. But Helen and Jake just leading by 2 now. So, 14-12 also with 3 ends to go in that game. So, been a great fight back by Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear in that one. So, Lucas thrown the jack a little bit longer this time. But, he has been hitting all lengths of late. So
I think he just looked at Ken and said, no, this is my length.
Yeah.
And, he has been hitting him. As it goes down, I thought he'd nailed that. Was just going to duck under a little bit, but...
That's a great start.
Yeah, it's a great start. Good weight again. As we spoke of before, the green picking up at a pace, so it is turning a bit more.
It's one of those shots that's just... It's jack high, but it's a little bit away from the kitty. It's actually in a position where it's annoying because you can't target it with heavy weight because it's not in the thing. So it's going to be second, third shot at least in this head if things go his way.
Yeah, and this part of the game where Aaron and Brad do need multiples, and Lucas is throwing his first bowl within a mat length, trying to get 3 bowls inside that is hard work.
Well, he does practice, not mat length. It's the length of an ice Vovo packet. He's got to get it within that.
An empty ice Vovo packet.
It would be empty by the end of the game, yeah.
I reckon even mid-roll-up, I'd be into them.
Look, again, great. It's a good bowl, covering bowl.
That's right, yeah. Look, there's no need to be greedy. They can be a little bit defensive here now, Lucas and Ken, that's for sure. Make sure he has bowls past the jack, just in case Jack does move. But yeah, Aaron and Brad definitely chasing multiples now. Ones are no good anymore.
I'm stuck on the ice Vovos. I'm imagining a packet at each end at a roll-up.
I'm not a big fan of the ice Vovos myself. You guys?
No,
Your favourite biscuit?
Favourite one?
Yeah.
Venetians.
Ooh.
I'm still an old classic Tim Tam guy.
Yeah, before my diet I started, which is no sugar. Tim Tams, I love Tim Tams.
Yeah.
I'm going to break my duck, but I'm going out to buy some fantails later.
Yeah, well, they're about to be discontinued,
I'm going to sit down later with a nice glass of soda water and eat the whole packet.
Yeah.
I'd never liked fantails. Stick my teeth together. Or something.
Yeah.
It's the sweet that keeps giving.
A lot of our younger players wouldn't be thinking, wouldn't know what we're talking about, probably with fantails, but classic Aussie sweet, that's for sure.
What's fantail? What's black and white television? But that's all right.
Lucas very good again there with his last bowl. Found, again, perfect weight.
Aaron expressive as always, disappointed with that, and it's coming up short. Yeah. See, I grew up in Western Australia, so we had some weird things over there, like spearmint milk, which we don't get over here.
No, I had that for a while. But even in those days, we used to get milk delivered to the schools, free milk. It was brilliant. Anyway, nowadays I think you get a free Game Boy or something.
Oh, okay, Boomer.
I love it. But I don't want to bring back whites on bowling green. I'm happy with the colours. It's okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, Kenny was quick onto the mat there, and Lucas had to sprint down the green to get out of Kenny's way, essentially.
That's right.
He was keen to go.
Come on.
Not mucking around at this stage of the game. He knows what he's got to play. One down, good bowl from Aaron.
But Lucas and Ken have to hold their focus here. They have to make sure that they keep that concentration up, where the other boys, Aaron and Brad, have to actually now increase their... They have to increase their... I was going to say focus again, but it's more than that now.
Increase their shot count.
Oh, yeah, well, that's one thing. But they've got to be more aggressive. They have to be more into the game. They've got to try different things. They've got to look at how they can make up these shots, and you can make them up in two ends.
That's right. Apparently, build a cluster of bowls behind the head, perhaps, and then try to bash Jack through to it is the standard, I'd guess, tactic there. But drawing close is no longer good enough.
Yeah, Brad's weight was pretty good there. He crashed into a front bowl, which took a bit of pace off, but probably just about had the weight to get in there for another shot. Ken looking to change hands, or has changed hands, and just maybe close the door, make it even harder for Brad to get in there.
That's a great bowl.
Yeah.
Looks like second shot, but it's a brilliant bowl.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly is. Again, close seconds at this stage of the game when you're leading by 9 with 3 ends to go. Fantastic bowls.
Good to see Dillis Kinley-Sides, President of Bowls New South Wales, joining us on the coverage. Welcome, Dillis. And here comes Brad. Those Optimas, they will turn pretty
send
hard.
it a little bit wider.
Just had to stay away from Lucas.
Yeah, exactly. So, still holding one. Would love a second, of course. Yeah.
Ken's got a couple of options here. He can look, dead draws option basically, but if he does run through the head, even if he trails it slightly or he sits the opposition bowl, sits Lucas's bowl, there's plenty of options there for him.
Plays his backhand, almost sits on their own bowl, will probably get the result.
A lot more percentages there.
Yeah, moves at Jack, of course, is even better, which he has done. What a bowl, Kenny
makes
Hanson.
It hard, yeah.
Take your hat off, Lucas. Come on.
Bowl. Yeah. Yep, big thumbs up from Lucas.
Yeah,
happy about that.
That hat must be stuck to his head, Ben.
Yep. Yeah, Brad rolling down the green to have a closer look.
Now at the back there, we've the tee is covered by both. So it's only one down at the back, so it's a difficult multiple here for him. Do you throw everything at it?
Well, it looks like a bit of a crash through and follow, doesn't it? Lottery at the back.
Yeah, lottery at the back.
He can get a split. Or he arrives on probably the middle bowl, pushes that through clean and hopes to follow through. But, almost under any circumstance, he's probably only looking at one shot here. It's very hard to make a multiple. I'm sure they'll take the one and try their luck in the last 2 ends, but Ken might have just about iced the game with that last bowl, I dare say. Again, very tight in the vision impaired pairs final. So Boardman and Felberg leading 14 over Bock and Kinnear 12. So we'll get a further update in that score shortly. Actually, it looks like it's just gone to 15-12 in favour of Boardman and Felberg after 13 ends. So 2 ends to go in that game. Both of these games are being played to 15 ends. The multi-disability and vision impaired a little bit different to the open pairs, which were 18 ends.
Brad just ran all the way past there, playing for that heavy shot we were discussing.
Yep. Yeah, kicked one out of the head, looking at second shot. Lucas calling for our marker, Joe Franzi, to get in there and have a look. Between the potential seconds.
Just for our viewers at home, we are you're probably experiencing some technical difficulties with some camera angles. We're working on that right now. Well, hopefully we can bring you the coverage as we have been.
Yeah, sometimes the heat plays a little bit of havoc with, or the direct sunlight plays a little bit of havoc with the cameras, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, it certainly is warm here this morning for winter's day. So the measure's been completed. We're just waiting for an indication of what the score might have been. Joe Franzi indicates it is just one, but that could be enough now for Lucas and Ken. So, one yellow? No.
One yellow?
He's got the wrong marker up.
Oh,
so it's okay. Joe, that's all right. We're allowing a...
Oh, so it is one blue?
It is one blue because Lucas has grabbed the mat, but that's all right. So 14-4 is the score. 2 ends to go. Yep. Aaron and Brad needing definitely a multiple here to keep the game going because, of course, we're only playing 3-bowl pairs, so 6 is the maximum they can score. If Aaron and Brad don't score 4 here, then this will be the last end of the match. Then we may flip our attention across to the Vision Impaired Pairs final, which is also said reaching an exciting conclusion. Just 3 the difference on their second last end. We'll see how we go. They may be...
And that's been a fight back from 10-0 down to be only trailing by 3 now for Bock and Kinnear.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Martin and Scott made real good inroads after giving Helen and Jake that 10-0 lead. Helen and Jake playing exceptionally well early. Speaking of playing exceptionally well, Lucas, not far away again. Great opener.
This is the time Aaron needs to basically let's talk resting toucher.
You're not wrong. He needs all 3 close. And it's not a terrible start.
Yeah, so a great opener from Lucas. Again, especially when Aaron and Brad are chasing 4 this end. Again, Lucas just consistently getting a bowl within a mat length with his first bowl in the last few ends.
Yeah, he's always useful. I think he's had a great game. I can't fault Lucas much at all. Hasn't had many wild ones. Look at his smiling still.
Yep, and that's another cracker.
Cracker.
Look, I might be switching my MVP votes around from Ken to Lucas this stage.
That's all right. Well, you've got the Clive Churchill medal in rugby league. Here we have the Ice Vovo medal, so that's why he's chasing it.
I'll go get another cookie. You've got one there. He deserves 2, I think.
Oh, he's played exceptionally well.
Yeah, look, another decent bowl here from Aaron. So
look, he's building on that side, and that's an important thing. He's keeping his bowls in a position where his skip can come and move Jack for a multiple, and Ken's just called Lucas to come and cover that.
Yep, it's a good call from Ken, and the right thing to do by Aaron to reach the head. Needing a multiple. There's no point in dropping any short bowls in now when you're chasing. At least 4 this end they need to keep the game alive. Yeah,
that's the thing. They have to score a 4.
Yep.
That's even to send it to a 4 and a 6 gets us to an extra end.
That's right, but the math is getting harder for Aaron and Brad, that's for sure. Oh, and Lucas, just 3 ripping bowls. Probably not exactly where Ken would have liked that last one, but that's okay. He's done well enough.
3 within that Ice Bovo packet length. He certainly will not be upset with that.
I'm going to suggest we have some testing done on him today. So
Aaron didn't like that one. He head went down straight after delivery. He knew he just hadn't played that reaching weight, unfortunately, to trail the jack. It's going to be down to Brad to see if he can get it to that back right corner as we look at the vision. No doubt Ken will be trying to get there first, and if Ken covers those 2, it can be very hard to see how Aaron and Brad can pick up a good score.
And just a reminder to our viewers at home, Aaron Kelly is from West Tamworth in New South Wales, Brad Gilbert from Casino RSM Club. Both clubs should be so proud of their players. They've played so well today. this has been a battle for the ages.
Absolutely, and it took certainly has been taking Ken's and Lucas's best bowls to get on top of them after Aaron and Brad started so well early. Ken played some reasonable cover there, covering one of those two bowls out the side.
Probably shot bowl there. It's funny angle, but it looks like shot bowl from here.
Yeah, it looks like shot. I've got a pretty good vision of the head there, and it looks like shot.
So
sure what the question there is.
I think Brad's looking for maybe someone was moving behind the head. He's just looking maybe for a bit less movement. He was waving someone out of the way before he plays this bowl. So important at this stage. So he's looking to trail the jack back to Aaron's two that are waiting.
Looks pretty good to there. Optimas do turn a fair way.
Yeah, he's played the perfect weight for the shot and has just run through, but he had to give it a chance. Ken probably just looking, not as worried about shot now, really just looking to get a bit further back, cover those back two. But just for fun, may draw another one anyway.
Just because he can, why not?
Yeah. No, he's snuck through a little and end up in a very good position.
What a pairing! What a pair of bowlers here, Ken and Lucas.
Yeah.
Haven't given their opposition any room to breathe here at all.
No, Aaron and Brad have just they've run into red-hot opposition today, remembering that Lucas and Ken have won their earlier two matches fairly well as well, 15-10, 16-6, now leading 14-4.
Oh, that's a great effort.
Yeah, Brad plays the right weight, but unfortunately doesn't get the jack.
There is a little cluster of three bowls back there for them. Their only chance now is for Brad's last bowl to carry jack back through to there and stay with it, unless Ken gets some cover, and I think Lucas has seen that as well.
Yeah.
He's a smart bowler.
Yeah, Lucas giving Ken some advice, and Ken probably hoping this will be his last bowl for the match. Remembering again, if you just joined us, these are only 15 matches, the multi-disability pairs and the vision impaired pairs, which is being played next door.
He's
Ken
back.
He's just hunting around the back, and that's a good position to be in with Aaron and Brad having the best two backwards.
Once again, just smart bowling.
Yeah.
They're not playing well, they're playing smart, smothering their opposition.
So could this be last bowl for the game? We will see.
He's got some intent.
Yep. Brad looking for that perfect trail again. He's just hung it a little bit wide, so I think we're going to be at the stage of shaking hands. And we are. That is a cracking win by Lucas Protopapas and Ken Hanson. So, yep.
And there it is. Lucas Protopapas and Ken Hanson have defeated Aaron Kelly and Brad Gilbert. We're just going to get the score result. While we do, I'm going to hand over to Lockie Williams for a couple of tasty statistics.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a quick mention before we'll cover the final end of the VI pairs, which is down to one shot, so huge contest there. But one of the most popular bowlers in the country, Lucas. So 2019 champion, COVID cancelled the AO 2020. 2021 Victorians couldn't come to the AO. 2022, he's all excited, and the poor fella copped COVID himself, so he couldn't play last year. So back in the AO and another win on the board. So I just wanted to point that out for one of the more popular bowlers going around.
Yeah, great observations, Lockie. So, no, certainly very popular bowler and a champion of the game, as is Ken Hanson, and well done to them on winning the multi-disability open pairs for 2023. Certainly had his adversities, Lucas, and he's battled through each of those. So, but let's cut across to the vision impaired pairs final action, where we're on the final end, and the scores are now 15-14. Helen Boardman and Jake Felberg leading by 10-0 early in the game, but Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear have come back to only be one behind as these opening bowls go down from the final end in this vision impaired open pairs final.
And what a comeback it's been. 10-0 down. It's now 15-14. Amazing.
Yep, so the first of Helen's bowls going down. So Martin, it looked like, already played his first bowl. So a little bit of room. Again, Helen and Jake leading by 1. Martin on the mat now with his second bowl of this final end. Again, all these bowlers are vision impaired and have varying degrees of sight, some very little sight at all. So it is amazing the quality of bowls we are seeing from these vision impaired bowlers who have the help of their directors on the green, and as much credit can be played to the directors for seeing these teams through to the final as the bowlers themselves.
Yeah, I find this amazing, vision impaired bowlers. I love the way the different techniques and the different ways that their helpers get the bowlers to all the way to the end of the jacks and get really close at times. You look at that blue bowler in the front there is fantastic. It's a metre in front. The have some experience with the vision impaired people with rookie rollers and the All Abilities kits, which I can't praise highly enough. Different coloured bowls and the tactile little practice bowls, they're just fantastic. The targets are different colours for All Abilities, and these guys are putting on a show at the moment. I'd be terrified to come up against them, I think.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Bock and Kinnear currently holding 2 with Martin's third bowl coming in now. Just slipped through the head, but then again it has covered those back 2, so of Helen's. Helen with her third and final bowl of what could be the final end. We don't know that for certain, because if Bock and Kinnear pick up 1 here, we will go to an extra end.
See her helper there, just putting his foot on the front of the mat, lining her up.
Yep. So
she's delivering another shot. Her first 2 went a bit long.
Yeah, so 2 down at the moment, but looks like Helen has dropped a bit of weight here with a third one, and may just be good enough to get close. Oh, it's just run through, but no, good enough a shot.
Wow.
That's the indication, so a little bit tricky from where we're seeing, but we've got the indication from the marker that it is 1 shot to Helen.
That's fantastic.
The Leeds bowls. So with Helen and Jake leading by 1, that would be good enough to see them win the final, but we'll see if Scott Kinnear has a response here. But yeah, it certainly hasn't been an amazing fight back from Martin and Scott to be 10-0 down and really play a great second half. I mean, we were watching the multi-disability open pairs event, but keeping an eye on the vision impaired pairs final, and the heads for both games have been outstanding.
Yeah, just thinking back to the Aaron and Brad, they were always close. As I said, Ken and Lucas just that 10% more, and were able to smother them as this bowl goes down and just runs into the front bowl and promotes it and gives shot to the blue team.
Yeah, it was enough, wasn't it? So even though that was, I said, yellow bowl coming in, it was a set of bowl for the blue team. So which is, I said, Martin and Scott.
That's a big bowl. Do they go to an extra end on a tie, Chris?
Yeah, they will. We'll go to an extra end.
We will cover it as well. I've been given the thumbs up from the magician.
Yeah, we will stay through to the end of this game. Next match is commencing at 11:30 around the greens. So Jake, not far away from Jack, has pushed the bowl through. May have got the shot back. He has, to the applause of Helen.
Big celebration from Helen there.
That's it. Yep, it is one.
There is some feeling in this game.
Indication from the marker that is definitely 1 to Jake. So wrestled the shot back. Leading 1 before this end. Let's see if Scott can play something similar to his last to get the shot back. Bowl's on its way. Oh, he's run into his own one. Didn't quite kick it into the head as he may have hoped. So still 1 to Helen and Jake at this point in time.
Really open there now, though. That front one out of the way.
Yeah, Jake with his second bowl of this last end.
I'm just in awe at the skill of these players. It's absolutely incredible to watch.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so Jake had the line okay. Looks like he's just dropped a bit of weight. Right, a little bit of pressure here on Scott as he does choose to walk down to the head and have a look, and yeah, probably trying to get a closer look at the position, but just gather his thoughts a bit with the final on the line here and 1 bowl to play. Martin and Scott 1 behind after an amazing comeback, being 10-0 down. Got it within 1 on this last end. Currently it looks like they're 1 down in the head. Needs to get a result here. At the very least get the shot to force an extra end, if not 2, to win the game. But if he doesn't, then Jake may not need to play his last bowl. I dare say he won't need to play his last bowl. He's not successful with this shot.
Really good look here, really good discussion.
Oh, it's tense out there. Yeah. And not forgetting, after this final, the game will be streaming next will be the vision impaired singles final, which will be between Jake Felberg and Scott Kinnear, the 2 skips here with their last bowls.
Yeah, both had an amazing run at the tournament, and in back-to-back finals, it should be another cracking game. We've seen some good bowls, in these ends we've been broadcasting, in this end in particular. But some of the ends we've seen on the periphery too, looking at the rink next door for most of the game. But righto, all on the line here for Scott. This bowl needs to draw a shot or to move Jack to make 2. Hoping for it to hold a bit wider. Not sure if it has. It has run under the Jack. And that will be the handshake. And congratulations to Helen Boardman and to Jake Felberg for winning the final. Looks like they'll pick up 1. It's probably all a bit academic. But nonetheless, they are winners of the vision impaired open pairs. Congratulations to Helen and Jake. And well played, Martin Bock and Scott Kinnear, on especially fighting their way back into the game.
Well, there it is. So, vision impaired final. Boardman and Felberg 16, Bock Kinnear 14, our final score there. And of course, our main game we had on this morning, Lucas Protopapas and Ken Hanson have defeated Aaron Kelly and Brad Gilbert 15-4. Chris Wallace, Benny Kay, great game, wasn't it?
Amazing, yeah, 2 amazing games actually. But congrats to our winners, our first, 2023 Australian Open champions. Plenty more action to come yet. As you mentioned, Kyle, we're about to go to the vision impaired singles final, aren't we?
Yeah, and Ben, you'll be back in the next game, of course.
Can't wait.
All right,
so much.
So we're back on deck around between 11:30 and 11:45. Stay tuned. Come on early if you want. It's down for 11:45, but that'll be the vision impaired singles final. Jake Felberg and Scott Kinnear at around 11:30. Until then, we look forward to your company then.